put him on the line with Dale Hunter and Ivan Corbo, moving Dale to right wing. And I think that should be a fair combination for him to start with, and then we'll see how it goes, how he plays, where he might fit better if necessary, and make the adjustment within a few games.
What do you expect from the Islanders?
They've been playing very hard, very physical. They've been involved, I know, it's in New Jersey in a number of fights. Pat LaFontaine, of course, is our nemesis, so we've got to make sure that talent-wise we match up well there. But I think it'll be a good forecheck game, a hard-working game, and hopefully we'll get a few more stops than they do, and we can win on that basis.
Brian, the Capitals' success over the years has been dominance here on home ice. The Capitals have dominated but haven't come away with wins here. Does that make a game like tonight's really important?
Well, we've had a tough time scoring a lot of goals in this building this year for whatever reason. It seems early, and every year we do that. So tonight we put on the red sweaters. Maybe that'll help us, Jeff. I don't know. But we have played well lately. We played well, especially on the road. And now it's a matter of putting some things together here. And I think that a win or two in this building would do an awful lot for our confidence and hopefully get a roll going for us.
Well, let's get it tonight. Thank you.
Right, Jeff. Thanks.
Caps coach Brian Murray. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Jeff, thanks very much. We talked about these Islanders and this new concentration on defense. Another thing they've certainly done a lot more lately is toughness. And what about the trade that brought this toughness into their lineup?
Well, not only did it add toughness, Mike, but I think it just added players who go out and play every shift hard. You couldn't say that about Mikko Makela, a very talented player, but the Islanders traded Mikko Makela to Los Angeles for Ken Baumgartner and Hubie McDonough. Now, in Baumgartner, they have got an acknowledged tough guy, one of the best fighters in the league, a very strong, heavy hitter, a guy who is not really blessed with great skating skills, a guy who may have a little trouble in a speed game. But here is somebody who stands up for his teammates, plays it aggressively, plays it hard, and the Islanders are feeling that it's just proven a point that you just can't go out and just play every other game like Mikko Makela seemed to do. You have to play every night, particularly when you're a young and rebuilding team, and Baumgartner does that, as does Hubie McDonough. Here's a guy who's not that big, but he's a good skater. He's scored some goals in his past, 39 goals last year with New Haven. But he's also a penalty killer. And again, another guy who every shift on the ice works, tries to do something, and it just carries over throughout the entire team. When you've got a team that's young and impressionable, and you put out players who just don't put out the effort like Mikko Makela, despite having all that skill, it really takes away from what you're trying to accomplish as a coach. Now you get these two guys. They may not make up for Makela in skill, but they more than surpass him in desire, and Al Arbour has seen the benefit of that.
Speaking of trades, the Capitals made one during the past week as well. Dave Christian leaves some wonderful memories behind and played some good hockey during his years as a Washington Capital. He becomes a Boston Bruin. Tell us about the new man.
Well, Bob Joyce is a guy who, if you talked to the Boston people last year, here was a superstar in the making. He came in from the 1988 Canadian Olympic team, had a good final part of the regular season, then scored 7 goals in the playoffs, 18 goals, 31 assists in his rookie year last year. He's a strong winger. He likes to work the corners. He likes to go to the front of the net. And he's got a very hard slap shot, accurate, gets it off quickly. But he, like Christian, has been struggling this year. And the Bruins, Harry Sinden felt he just couldn't hang on to Joyce any longer. Now, the Capitals give up a lot in terms of a proven performer, and a guy can also kill penalties and play all 3 forward positions. But you also pick up 7 years of age. You pick up size. You pick up a little more aggressiveness. And they think that Bob Joyce has got a great future ahead of him. And this is where the Capitals are looking. A payoff now, but also really down the road.
Next couple of weeks are going to be very big ones for the Washington Capitals. You take a look at the list of opponents coming up, and there's some very big hockey games coming up for this team.
They've got Philadelphia. They've got Pittsburgh twice. They play the New York Rangers. All these Pacific Division teams that are in front of the Capitals right now. Washington feels like with their young players, they're in a position because they're getting experience. They're maturing that they can make that move. They can put together a run like they did last year to take the Pacific Division title. When you've got players like Cicerelli, Courtnall, Ridley, who are now starting to produce, and guys like Pabanka, Hunter, and Miller, who are producing more than last year, the Capitals are poised for that. They just have to stay consistent and take advantage of their chances, which are getting plenty of.
Let's turn things over right now to public address announcer Marv Brooks.
Special presentations. You may remain seated. The Washington Capitals at this time want to honor the newly created Maryland Scholastic Hockey League, consisting of 13 Washington and Baltimore area private and public high schools. Hockey competition between these area high schools is about to begin, and the schools are going to be competing for the championship trophy called the Capitals Cup. The Capitals are very proud of their support of amateur hockey in the area, and Vice President General Manager David Poyle and Capitals Director of Community Relations Ivan LeBray are now presenting a check from the Capitals for $4,550 to Mr. Don Gensler, Commissioner for the Maryland Scholastic Hockey League, along with Pat Krim, coach of the DeMatha High School hockey team and Director of Development for the Maryland Scholastic Hockey League. Congratulations, gentlemen. And also, Anheuser-Busch representative Denise Doyle is with us this evening. Denise is going to present the Budweiser Player of the Month for the month of November to Washington Capital, Jeff Courtnall. Ladies and gentlemen, would ask that you all please rise and join Glenn Cunningham in singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of
Here's tonight's referee, Kerry Fraser. The linesmen are Kevin Collins and Sweet Knox. Now a look at the starting goaltenders for this evening's contest. First of all, Glenn Healy, who gets the start for New York at 5-10-2 in the season. He's posted a 3.81 goals against average, no shutouts. His backup tonight is Mark Fitzpatrick. Don Beaupre gets the call for Washington. He is 9-9-3 on the year in 22 outings. One shutout. Bob Mason will be the backup goalkeeper for Washington. Beaupre's average at 3.11 on the year. And the Capitals' Mike Ridley dumps the puck inside the New York zone. And here's Kelly Miller trying to center, but it's picked up. And now Johansson takes it back for Washington. Baumgartner is on the ice for New York. The puck centered and goes off the skate of McDonough and is cleared all the way out to center ice. Calle Johansson, who is just coming off a stomach virus, had a case of the flu, and he's in the lineup tonight for Washington. Leads it on the left wing side for Mike Ridley. Here's Ridley trying to center, has it knocked away. Ciccarelli reaches for the puck, but now Henry turns to start back. Dale Henry, playing in only his third game of the season for New York, and dumps it back inside the Washington zone. Dino Ciccarelli tries to clear it outside the zone, but it's sent back inside the end for Vokota in the corner. And Courtnall starts out for Washington. Let ahead now, and here comes Ridley to Ciccarelli across the blue line. And over on the right wing, he's checked, but still has the puck. Takes it behind the goal. Tries to center, and it's held onto the side of the netting. As Jari Granstrand freezes the puck to stop play. This game just 1 minute and 6 seconds old, and no score. Doug Wickenheiser scratched from the lineup, as is John Druce. Bob Rouse and Scott Kleinendorf are out with knee injuries. For New York, lots of injuries. DeMeo with a chest injury, Pilon with an eye injury, Ricci with hand surgery, Flatley with a broken toe, Chenault has a bad thumb. Brian Trottier scratched tonight from the New York Islander lineup.
Well, I don't think he's 100% healthy as well. That Pilon is a big loss.
Here's a drive from the point, kicked out of there by Healy. Now sent to the corner. Leach with it behind the net. Scott Stevens bounces it to the side of the goal. It's knocked away by Healy with his goal stick, and Gronstrand can't get it. Now Courtnall steals the puck, but it bounces over the stick of Scott Stevens. Up to center ice, here's Alan Kerr across the blue line. Slams on the brakes and can't make a pass into the corner as Michael Pavanka takes it away. Pavanka playing, although he has a sore ankle. Here's the game's first penalty call coming as the net has been dislodged. And a charging call coming. Don Beaupre is still down on one knee after being jostled at the side of the net. The net gets dumped over. We'll see what the penalty calls are when we return after these messages.
This is what great ice-cold draft beer used to look like. This is what it looks like today. Cold filtered, never heat pasteurized, Miller Genuine Draft. Our exclusive cold filtered brewing method produces a smooth, real draft taste that blows ordinary beers away. So tap into the cold, cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
The call is against the New York Islanders' Alan Kerr, charging at 140. Now watch as the puck comes loose. Beaupre goes out to play it, and Kerr goes into him. It's like Kerr kind of pulled up, but certainly collided a bit with Don Beaupre. Neil Sheehy did a smart thing, though, Mike. He was ready to go after Kerr, but looked around and saw that Kerry Fraser's arm was up for a penalty, so didn't go after him, which would have taken the Capitals off this power play opportunity.
Good move early in the game. Late in the game, you can bet Sheehy would have gone after it. On the power play, Washington 16th in the league at 18%. Short-handed, the Islanders 15th in the league at 77%. Scott Stevens out there along with Bill Holder. Steve Leach up front with Hunter and Courtnall. Here's Holder at the left point. Brings it over now to Scott Stevens. High shot caught by Healy and cleared from in front of the goal. Now sent all the way down the ice by Brent Sutter. Both teams change up the lines. No score, just underway with this game. Here's Courtnall working the blue line. Now starts to center ice. He fires it back inside the Islanders zone. Off a skate, it comes right out front for Norton, and he whips it out to center. Scott Stevens back to his own line. Up to Kelly Miller. Miller being hooked by Maloney, but gets away from him. Now sends it over to Scott Stevens. Now leads it ahead to Mike Ridley. Ridley across the line. Taken away. Diddick clears to the point. Johansson keeps it in. Charges in front. Ridley a shot and a save by Healy. The Capitals pinballed it over to Ridley right at the side of the net. But Healy was there to make the save. Now Johansson back to center ice. Flips it on into the Islander zone. Gerald Diddick behind the net. Clears it off the boards to center ice, and Hatcher's back for it. Throws it over to Johansson. Calle Johansson, a bad pass to center ice. Norton takes it, carries inside the Washington zone, centers it, it's loose, and it's cleared away from in front of the net where Beaupre was reaching to grab it. Bob Joyce starts back now for Washington. Throws it on into the corner. Healy stops it behind the net. Clears it off the high glass to the point, and Hatcher keeps it in. Bounces it in front, deflected on goal. And Healy makes a pad save. Hatcher waits for it at the point. And here is Ridley in the corner. Ridley sets up. Tries to find Cicerelli. But Crossman chases him to the sideboards. Dino Cicerelli back into the corner for Ridley. At the blue line. Here's Sheehy. Now to Hunter. And couldn't handle the puck, and it's cleared to the blue line by LaFontaine. Now Kerr out of the box. The penalty's over, and the Islanders back at full strength. Over to Crossman. Flips it right in front of the net. Beaupre grabs it. The puck comes loose. There's a penalty call coming. And now Sheehy wants to go after Kerr. Pushing and shoving still continuing out there. Now Alan May wants to talk to Baumgartner, and Kiprio steps in and has something to say to him. But the linesmen are between them. Now May has something to talk to Kerr about. And the Capitals are still wanting to talk to Kerr, but it looks like it'll have to wait because Fraser has called a minor for hooking against Nick Kiprios. Islander power play coming up.
The Subaru Legacy L and the Toyota Camry DLX. Which one is the bigger value? Well, the Subaru Legacy has a lot of standard features the competition doesn't, like more horsepower, power windows and door locks, more rear legroom, and four-wheel disc brakes. So, comparing the Subaru Legacy and the Camry, it's obvious. The Camry's not even in the picture. The new Subaru Legacy from about $12,500.
The penalty call is hooking to Nick Kiprios at 4:31. The action in front with Kerr breaking down the middle with that puck. Rather, LaFontaine breaking down there, and it was hooked down to the ice by Nick Kiprios for the penalty.
Islander power play ranked 4th in the league at 24%. Capitals 7th in the league in penalty killing at 83%. And Rob Murray grabs the puck with his gloved hand and just throws it into the Washington bench. So the faceoff will be back inside the Capital zone with 15:16 to go here in the first period. And Kiprios still has a minute 46 seconds left to serve on his hooking minor, which came at 4:31.
The Capital penalty killers, who have been so strong throughout most of the year, have slipped a little bit, and this is going to be an area where some younger players are going to have to step forward. People are going to have to get more time, because that was one of the jobs David Christian had, killing penalties. One of the better ones for the Washington Capitals, so we'll see. Brian Murray out there with Murray and Pavanka right now.
Here's a steal by Rob Murray, and it's taken away again, though, by Crossman. Murray stole the puck and then lost control of it, or he would have had a breakaway in on Healy. On the right wing, LaFontaine throws it into the corner, and it's behind the net. Beaupre stops it there, and now here's Langway up the boards for Murray. Rob Murray outside the line, and Pavanka clears to center ice. Lead pass for Sutter. Stolen, and Kelly Miller sends it all the way down. A minute to go in the Kiprios penalty. Miller plays it off the sideboards, and now Healy chases it in behind the net. Over to Crossman. Doug Crossman works to the blue line, now stick handles to center ice. He gives to Norton. Jeff Norton, a wrist shot, blocked by Healy. Norton chases it behind the goal. Clears back to Crossman, dumps behind the net, and Volek is there, but Sheehy rides him off the play. Cleared out of the zone and tipped by Kelly Miller the rest of the way down the ice. 25 seconds left to go now in the Kiprios penalty. No score between the Capitals and the Islanders here in the first period. Sheehy to the corner, blasts it off the boards. It gets away from Nyland at the blue line. Alan May. Back to Sheehy, and he sends it all the way down.
Alan May appears to be the first beneficiary of that extra ice time with the absence of Christian. First time we've seen Alan May out there killing penalties, Mike.
Kiprios out of the box. Washington back at full strength. Here's Kerr behind the net. Cleared back to the right point. Wrist shot wide of the goal, and now chased by May over on the right wing. Held up by Derek King, and again the puck cleared out of the zone. It bounces back into Islander territory. No icing. Both teams change up the lines, and now another penalty call coming from Kerry Fraser. This will be elbowing. The time of the penalty, 6:57 of the first period of play, and the Islanders, Alan Kerr will be the man to head to the penalty box. Caps on the power play again when we return.
Labatt's Blue, crisp, clean, imported beer from Canada.
Well, the Islanders' Alan May makes his second visit to the penalty box. An elbowing call this time at 6:57. Capital power play only got one quality chance on goal the first time they were out there. That was a chance by Mike Ridley. Alan May and Kerr in that corner.
Pretty good look at an elbow there.
Right there comes Kerr in.
Crossman clears it all the way down back into the Washington zone, and now Beaupre stops it at the side of the net. And here comes Kevin Hatcher. Stolen puck. Walking in is Sutter. He scores! Sutter with the steal off a Kevin Hatcher pass that was misguided on its way out of the zone. And he picks that off and waltzes in for a shorthanded goal. And that gives the Islanders a 1-0 lead.
Well, just like the Capitals, the New York Islanders very aggressive in their penalty killing. They send those penalty killing forwards in deep. And Kevin Hatcher just throws that blind pass trying to get over to Kelly Johansson. Johansson tries to hold up Sutter's stick. To no avail. Brent Sutter beats Don Beaupre shorthanded to put the Islanders on top 1-0. Still a minute, 38 left to go in the Kerr penalty. And Brian Murray has quickly removed his point men. Johansson and Hatcher off, Holder and Stevens out.
Here comes Holder to center ice and drives it back inside the New York zone. Puck cleared off the glass and flipped all the way down back into the Washington end. Holder goes after the puck as Stevens slows down Maloney. Now Scott Stevens with it behind the net. Leads it ahead on the left wing side. Courtnall across the blue line. Courtnall coming on, throws it wide of the net. Now over to Hunter. Hunter checked on the play, and Steve Lee back to get it. Dale Hunter. Left side for Courtnall. Courtnall fakes the shot, attempts a pass, and Nyland picks that off, but can't clear it. Holder keeps it inside the Islanders zone. Healy sends it up the boards, and Courtnall with it there. Jeff Courtnall back to the point for Scott Stevens. Now to Courtnall, a high shot, knocked down. Healy made the shoulder save, and the rebound skittered just wide. Scott Stevens back at center ice. Winds and drives it into the corner. Hunter in to chase Nyland. Now behind the goal. Works on Crossman. The puck comes up the side boards, and Holder keeps it in. Ivan Korovo behind the net. Skates it back to the point. Here's Bill Holder. A pass to Hunter. In front to Courtnall. A shot, and a save is blocked. The rebound shot. That goes just wide off Courtnall's stick. Healy tries to clear, but it comes right to Korovo. He gives it up to Crossman. And it finally winds up on the stick of Hunter. Penalty's over. Kerr's out of the box. The Islanders back at full strength. Korovo trying to center, and Healy loses his goal stick, but dives on top of the puck and hangs on to stop play.
Once again, the Capitals only get one good chance on the power play. That shot comes in from Jeff Courtnall as he was set up in the slot. He wound up for the slap shot instead of taking the wrist shot, and Al Arbour saw his defense react to that. The guy who did a really outstanding job on it was Gary Nyland, who tied up Ivan Korovo. The rebound came right out to where Korovo was standing, but he was completely wrapped up by Nyland. And Al Arbour's Islanders escape for the second time tonight. Not only do they escape, but while shorthanded, come off with a 1-0 lead on the Brent Sutter talent.
Pavanka leans in to work the draw, but the Islanders get it. And now Gronstrand behind the net, checked by Alan May. May held up by Gronstrand, and the puck cleared off the stick of Joyce. Back come the Islanders on the attack. On the right wing, Alan Kerr throws it on into the Washington zone. Beaupre stops it behind the net. Over now to Langway in the corner. He backs it up for Sheehy. Neil Sheehy for Washington. The Capitals trail 1-0 on a shorthanded goal by Brent Sutter of the Islanders. Baumgartner takes it away from Alan May. Works it out of the zone, and here comes Derek King. King across the blue line. Hit by Bob Joyce, and Pavanka takes over with the puck. Throws it behind the net. Up the left wing boards for Joyce. He saw Baumgartner, or rather Gronstrand, coming and ties him up. The puck comes back to Baumgartner. Sheehy at his own line, up for Ciccarelli. Back for Neil Sheehy. Bounces beyond his stick, and Scott Stevens in to take it. Right side pass, Ciccarelli. Up to center ice. Here comes Ridley across the line. Mike Ridley on the left wing side. Centers it. Oh, and a shot by Ciccarelli. Went off the goalpost. Dino Ciccarelli put one right off the goalpost from the off-wing position. Ciccarelli centers it. Ridley can't make the connection in front as Healy helped that along with his goal stick. Good scoring chance moments ago for the Capitals. Back comes Norton for New York. Drops it off for Maloney. His high drive stopped by Beaupre. Now a rebound into the net. The Islanders go in front 2-0, scoring on a rebound after Don Beaupre had stopped the initial drive, but was still down on the ice in front of the goal.
And after Dino Cicerelli hit the post at the other end. And remember, this was the line that killed the Capitals in the first meeting here at the Cap Center. Vakota got the 3 goals. This time I think it's going to be Maloney who's going to pick up the loose puck and whack it home, but it's his unit out there. There's Vakota right in front. And you can see how the Capitals are scrambled out. Give Norton, though, a lot of credit. He's the man who brings that play up ice as a defenseman and adds to the rush. It's a 4-on-3 then. The Capitals never cover up. Nobody can pick up that rebound. And just like what happened the first time these two teams met, it's the Islanders jumping off to the early lead, this time 2-0.
Here's Alan May out to center ice now for Washington. Throws it across the line back inside the Islanders zone. May is hit hard on the play. Gronstrand ties up behind it, and Alan May goes piling in on top of Gronstrand. Now Sutter holds him off. Sutter and May continue to jostle, and finally Sutter clears the puck to the corner. Now his slap shot goes wide. Out at center ice, Sutter across the blue line, looking for Volek, but Murray steals. He starts back. Long lead pass to Nick Kyprios. Kyprios across the line. To Corvo, fires, and Hatcher couldn't follow up on the rebound after Healy made a sparkling save in net, and the puck came right out front. Kevin Hatcher was unable to get a stick on it. Hatcher back into his own zone now. Islanders leading 2-0. Here's Hunter in across the blue line. In Islander territory, Hunter in the corner. Taken away by Joyce. A wrist shot stopped by Healy. Tries to bat it free and ends up covering the puck to his left, and he holds on there to stop play. Let's check in downstairs now with Jeff Rimmer.
Well, big night tonight for the Washington Capitals. They can gain some ground in the National Hockey League's Patrick Division standings. As we get a look on our Washington Post scoreboard, the Caps trailing here are obviously watching what's going on, and it's the Red Wings ahead of Chicago 2-1 in the first period. Here's the key game for the Capitals. A win for Washington and a loss for New Jersey, and they trail 2-1. Would vault the Capitals ahead of both New Jersey and Pittsburgh, but not a good start for the Caps here tonight at the Capitol Center. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Jeff. Scoring in this game, Sutter's 12th of the season, Maloney's 13th. And the Sutter goal was shorthanded to give the Islanders a 2-0 lead. 9-5 the shot so far, and Washington has the advantage. Up on the right wing side, here comes Randy Wood. He passes it over to Thibodeau. Throws it back inside the Washington zone, and Langway to the corner lines up Wood, but now the whistle blows before those two crunched in the corner. And play is stopped, and they've ruled it offside. The faceoff will come out into neutral ice.
Brian Murray's got to settle his team down a bit. They look a little jumpy. They seem a bit disorganized. You know, part of it, you've got a new guy in there in Bob Joyce. They had the 2 power play opportunities, and Brian Murray then had to try and mix and match his line to get out the people who hadn't been out there on that power play effort. The shorthanded goal certainly takes plenty of wind out of you, and the Capitals just need to tighten up, giving rebounds and some chances there on that Maloney goal, and not taking advantage of some of the rebounds that they've had. They've had a couple of golden opportunities, Mike, but they have been unable to pick up those rebounds that have been lying there.
Here's Courtnall with a pass over to Stephen Leach, and his shot is blocked, and now the Islanders come back. Thibodeau up to center ice. Across the Washington line, taken away. Pavanka works it ahead for Leach. Leach run off the play into the boards. Back to Rod Langway. Led ahead, and Leach inside the Islander zone. Looks for Pavanka, can't find him. The puck cleared all the way back to the Washington blue line, and the Capitals complete a line change, and Scott Stevens now chased to the corner and hooked to the ice by Kerr. And Alan Kerr will head to the penalty box for his 3rd minor penalty of this period.
Is that a natural hat trick? 3 in a row for Alan Kerr. The Islanders still on top, 2-0.
At All-Star Chevrolet, with just $500 down cash or trade, you can purchase a 1990 Chevy Beretta for just $178 a month, a 1990 Cavalier VL for just $135 a month, or buy a 1990 Chevy S10 EL pickup for just $131 a month. How about a 1990 Chevy conversion van with automatic air conditioning and more for just $340 a month? All-Star Chevrolet beats credit union and buying service prices. All-Star Chevrolet, you'll love them.
Well, Kerr had done his job initially. The forechecking pressure caused Scott Stevens to give the puck up, but then once Scott Stevens started to turn and go for it, Kerr did a little too much with the stick to get into Scott Stevens, pull him to the ice, and pick up his third consecutive penalty of this period, hooking the call at 13-13.
Crossman chases it back inside the Islander zone. Now Ridley back of the goal after, but Crossman still with the puck. Plays it for McDonough. Hubie McDonough held up by Kelly Miller. And sent off the sideboards. And to the point where Hatcher keeps it in. Now batted by Crossman all the way back to center ice. Johansson over to get it. To Hatcher. Up to Ridley. Ridley left wing side. Kelly Miller goes into the corner. The point is Calle Johansson to Miller. Walks in on the left wing side. Drops it off for Cicerelli. Back to Johansson. His shot goes just wide of the net. And played by Crossman up the boards. Crossman takes it again and sends it off the glass to center ice. And they rule the puck knocked down with a high stick. They're going to bring the faceoff now back into Washington ice with 48 seconds to go in the penalty call to Alan Kerr.
You saw in that last Capitals setup, what the Capitals do now with Calle Johansson is out there is they try and work him more towards the middle. Make it almost like an umbrella sort of lineup with him alone at the top, right in the middle of the ice near the blue line, and then the wings down. Kevin Hatcher, in this case, his point man, will drop down to that far right wing side, trying to set up Johansson for that one-timer off the pass from Cicerelli to either get it on goal in the manner he scored against Boston in the first goal of the hockey game, or to set it up for a rebound the way he was able to set up Dino Cicerelli also in that game.
Puck cleared off the glass and out to center. Healy came pretty close to putting that one into the seats. Went right near the very tip top of the glass as he sent it off, and it had it gone into the crowd, it would have been a 2-minute penalty. Here comes Courtnall back now for Washington. Drop pass for Leach, and it's taken right to the net in the skates, and finally Healy reaches out and just grabs the puck and covers it up to stop play.
Have to be impressed with the way the Islanders are really tying up the Capital forwards. This time it was Jeff Norton completely wrapping up Jeff Courtnall. I mentioned Nyland has done a good job at that so far tonight. Capitals with just 12 seconds left to work on their third power play of the period. And with only 4 shots on goal for the first 2 power plays, I would think only a shot on goal, and they haven't even gotten a shot on goal on this effort. They just have to have more consistent work on the power play. It's, you know, it's dramatic how up and down it goes. You watch them against Boston, they're 3 for 3. They ended up in the game 3 for 4 on the power play. The next night in Buffalo, they got a 5-minute major and can barely put anything on goal. Here tonight with 3 minors to work with already, they've only got 4 shots to show.
Scott Stevens twisted around by LaFontaine, throws the puck to the corner, and Corvo tries to work it free. Penalty about to expire. And Kerr jumps back on the ice, and the Islanders are at full strength. He's free if they can find him, and the pass goes just too far. Beaupre sends it up the board. Bob Joyce on the left wing, wearing number 27 for Washington, in across the blue line. Crossman works to center. Too far for Pat LaFontaine, and Beaupre has it behind the net. Steers it up the boards. Bob Joyce out to center ice, finds Corvo. Has to wait, though, as Hunter's offside. And in the process, the Islanders take the puck. Here's Derek King across the line into Washington territory. Langway steals and starts back. Rod Langway with the Capitals on the line change. Carries the puck into the zone. chased by Nyland. Centers it. It's loose. Murray digs it free. But the Islanders clear it out of there. Linesman Kevin Collins takes a spill. And the Caps dump it back inside the New York zone. Here's Alan May at the side of the net. Tries to stuff it into the goal, and now it's picked up and cleared by Derek King all the way down the ice back into the Washington end. This will be no icing here as Beaupre plays it. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first period. Islanders leading 2-0. Murray out to Holder. Puts it across the line. Back inside the New York zone. Again, the Islanders clear it back into the Washington end. New York wants to complete the line change, and now they get the job done. Gerald did it. Over to Baumgartner. To center ice, and Kevin Hatcher plays it to Scott Stevens. 3 minutes to play, first period. Inside the Islanders zone, Hubie McDonough up the right wing boards. The puck popped up just inside the line, and Stevens pushed out of there. Back comes McDonough with it. He fires wide of the Washington net. Now Scott Stevens back to take it. Stevens hits Ciccarelli at center ice with a pass. Dino Ciccarelli across the line. Wrist shot. Hitting Brad Lauer and settles into the corner for Sutter. Sutter circles the goal and starts out. Right wing side. Sutter ahead to center ice. Gets across the blue line. Sutter pushed away by Sheehy. And back in the corner is Scott Stevens. Bumped by Lauer. Here's Stevens to get it. Lead pass to center ice, and Courtnall takes it across the line. Drops it off for Ciccarelli. Throw it into the corner. Courtnall behind the net. Bumps with Norton. The puck loose in the corner. 1:51 to go here in the first period of play. Slap shot by Volek right on, and Beaupre makes the save. Now Sheehy crashes Volek into the corner board. Pavanka out to Leach. Across the line with Courtnall. Passes to Pavanka. He passes in front of the net, and it's taken away and cleared by Diddick all the way back to the Washington line. Langway to Johansson. Up to Pavanka. Throws it behind the goal. Courtnall chasing after it. Volek gets there first. And David Volek bats it into the Washington end. 2-0 Islanders as we near the 1 minute mark remaining here in the first period of play. Randy Wood's pass intercepted by Hunter. He finds Joyce on the left wing. Drop pass Hunter. Hunter into the corner. Tries to center. The puck loose. Healy grabs it and covers up to stop play as the pushing and shoving starts in the corner. And Hunter's stick is being held over there as Dale Hunter had a stick that was too high for one of the Islanders, and Baumgartner being escorted away now by Kevin Collins.
Hunter's stick held by Baumgartner. Gronstrand had Joyce wrapped up as Joyce went in towards the net and just basically tried to shove the puck and Gronstrand in to goaltender Glenn Healy. Just a minute left to play as the Islanders, despite being outshot 10-6, lead 2-0. And key turnover, of course, the Hatcher giveaway. That made a major difference in this period, but extremely impressed the way the Islanders have forgotten their two rather poor defensive performances against New Jersey and have come out and played a very tight defensive game. The forwards are helping out, but the defense really doing the job in front, tying up the sticks, the bodies of the Capital forwards in front of Glenn Healy.
From the draw, here comes Derek King out to center ice. Hatcher back to get it. Throws it across the line, back inside the New York zone. Baumgartner checked by Ivan Korovo. They tie it up there. The puck's still loose. Now King is held by Joyce, and Korovo takes possession. Loses the puck to Crossman. Puts it off the glass and all the way back to the Washington line. LaFontaine chasing after it and tied up by Kevin Hatcher. Hatcher's pass to Korovo, now out to Joyce. 20 seconds left in the period. Crossman with it behind the net. Islanders start another rush, and here comes Baumgartner to center ice. Left side for King. Thrown all the way down back into the corner. Scott Stevens in Washington territory as time runs out. He passes to Kelly Miller. And after one period of play, the New York Islanders leading the Washington Capitals 2-0 Brent Sutter, his 12th goal of the season, unassisted. And then Maloney comes up with his 13th of the year from Norton and Bucota at 10:49. Shots on goal in the period. Washington with 10, and the New York Islanders with 6. Our live exclusive hockey coverage continues right after we pause for these messages here on the Home Team Sports Television Network.
Monday, the start of a long work week. But you'll stand up and cheer for ESPN's NFL Mondays in all cast of your football on the NFL trivia game. Then Monday Night Matchup analyzes the night's big NFL battle. Finally, catch Monday Night Magazine for feature stories on the game's greatest players. You may even look forward to the beginning of the week with NFL Mondays on ESPN.
I want a woman who wants to hunt. Now, what do I mean by that? A woman who likes to hunt. Just come and get me, girls. The number is 700.
I am successful, I'm rich, and I'm good looking. Rich, good looking, and
I don't do drugs. Okay, I take lithium, but I'm here waiting for your calls, girls. Come and get me.
When life is rough, laugh it off with the new Comedy Channel. 24 hours a day, we're there when you need us.
Oh, no matter what you do, trust that I'll be there for you. You can depend on me, yeah. Feel the power of a friend. Feel it time and time again. You can depend on me.
New improved Kodak batteries last longer than ever. So when you need us, we'll be there.
You can depend on me.
New Kodak batteries. Depend on us to last longer.
At Hardee's, we use 100% pure American beef because we never forget you can always go someplace else. At Hardee's, we use real dairy cheese because we never forget you can always go someplace else.
The New York Islanders taking advantage of a couple of Washington Capitol miscues, and they score the only 2 goals of the first period and lead the hometown Capitals by a score of 2-0 after the first 20 minutes of play. Welcome back. I'm Jeff Rimmer here on Home Team Sports, and our pleasure as always welcoming Caps General Manager and Vice President David Poile to our intermission studios. And David, first off, your thoughts on that first period.
Well, that's not the way the script is supposed to go, Jeff. We're certainly looking to play a lot better at home. You know, one of the things we were, I guess, half kidded about was the fact that we're wearing our red road uniforms and somewhat of a way to turn this thing around. But you know, we seem to have a good effort and we seem to get good chances, but we have made the big mistakes again, and the big mistakes have cost us, and now we're behind 2-0, and that's certainly not a good sign. One that we'd hoped that we could get straightened away, and again, an important game, another game in our division. So I would think that we'd probably have a pretty upset dressing room right now.
You are welcome to join David and I at 301-499-6600 with your questions and comments after the first 20 minutes of play. David, the Capitals getting involved in a trade this week, trading away a veteran player off his hockey club, Dave Christian, for Bob Joyce. Can you give us your thoughts on that, please?
Well, first of all, I'd like to talk a little bit about Dave Christian and the contribution that he made to the Capitals organization in the last 6+ seasons. You know, David has been one of the best players ever to wear a Capitals sweater, and he certainly had a lot to do with the movement that we had upward in the standings and the sale of the game of hockey here in Washington. And for that, I'm very appreciative, and I think we'll all miss David as a hockey player and as a person. The business side of the game, however, was that we just felt that you know, David was really, I guess you'd have to say, was in a slump, and things really weren't going that well for him. And you know, I hate to ever say, you know, a player gets complacent or what have you, but maybe in this case, and hopefully also for Bob Joyce, that a change of scenery will do both players well, because neither one of them, I think, was playing up to what everyone had been accustomed to. And what we're hoping for ourselves with Bob Joyce is that we've got a much younger player. We gained 7 years in the trade. I think it's a little bit better position for us as far as depth-wise, a left winger versus a right winger. And as I also said, I think it's going to have some impact on some of our other younger players. For example, tonight, Brian's chosen to use a Stephen Leach playing a little bit of the power play, Alan May killing, you know, a little bit of penalties, and these are areas that were David Christian's ice time. So it's you know, in the deal, we're looking for a lot of guys to add more of a contribution.
There are 3 big trades made on Wednesday in the National Hockey League. A player that was in the Washington Post, rumored to be coming this way, Greg Millen, moving on to the Nordiques. Surprised that the Blues gave up on Millen at this point after just a couple of weeks ago, Caron was saying that Millen had played so well. In fact, he said it right here on HTS, and he wasn't going to be traded.
Well, you know, that's the kiss of death when the general manager says that. Again, I think the Blues had more or less made up their mind that they were going to do something if the opportunity came about, and they were looking for that big offensive defenseman, and that's what they went after, was Jeff Brown. And you know, they've sort of put all their eggs in the basket of Vincent Riendo, who's played very well, and they've also signed and have signed 3 other young goaltenders, and I think they're probably looking as one of those would be a very good backup at this time, and hoping that they'll develop. And again, Greg Millen was 32 years of age, so it'll be an interesting trade. All the trades are always interesting to see how they work out, because I think right away we always have a reaction. Well, you know, Team A got the better of the deal, but I think you got to let things go a little bit to see how these things work out.
Let's go to Newport News. And Wayne, you're on Home Team Sports for the Caps GM. Welcome.
Good evening, gentlemen. Mr. Poyle, speaking in regards to trades, you seem to be looking for that elusive goal scorer, and you went and picked up Dino Ciccarelli and traded him for Mike Gardner, and right now Mike Gardner is outscoring him 2-1 in Minnesota. What do you have to say about that? I realize it's still kind of early in the season yet, but what do you think about that trade so far? Thank you.
Well, again, as I just answered before, I think you have to, you know, judge trades on a long-term basis. So far, the trade is the last 12 games of last season, where the Capitals almost went undefeated and ended up in first place the first time we've done that. And I have to think that the trade or the trades had a lot to do with that. Dino Ciccarelli, along with a lot of the Capitals this year, and I think they have to share responsibility of not started off that well. Dino Ciccarelli right now is probably our hottest player, if you will, and probably our best forward. I think he's got 16 points in the last 10 games. So let's have a look at it when it's all said and done. And again, when you look at the trade that we made with Minnesota, I mean, there were 4 real good players traded, and you know, they're all going to put up some stats. For example, Larry Murphy is going to score a lot of goals. I mean, that's what he is, an offensive defenseman. Bob Rouse, for us, is not going to score very many goals. So if you're going to just base things strictly on stats, you know, sometimes that's not exactly the right way to do things.
We continue on the phone lines and head to Baltimore. Mitch, you're on Home Team Sports. Welcome.
Hi, David. I guess the fans aren't going to stop hounding you until you pick up a guy like Mario. But anyway, 2 questions for you about, or actually 1 question about 2 players in the organization. I'll hang up and listen to your answer. Number 1, Lane Raymond, the last couple years was the number 3 goalie in the system. Now all of a sudden he's buried in the East Coast League. Why is that? And the other question is, in the hockey news every week, where they, in the Quebec Major Junior stats, where they list different players, 10 or 12 of them, I haven't seen Reggie Savage's name up there. And I was wondering if he went back with a bad attitude or what. And I'll hang up and listen. Thanks.
Your number 1 question is about Alain Raymond, who's a goaltender. We made a decision after this year with Pete Peters going to Philadelphia, and the drafting of our 2 young goaltenders, Kolzig and Defoe, that we would put our eggs in their basket, if you will. We feel that we have a real good prospect in goal in Baltimore right now, and he's playing the bulk of the game, and his name is Jim Hrivnik, and we think right now that that's the best way for us to go. And again, Alain had played pretty well for us and not too bad in Baltimore, but we felt that we would prefer to go with Hrivnik and look to the 2 kids in future years.
And what was the other part of that question? Reggie Savage.
Well, Reggie went back later. He had the groin injury. He's missed about, I think, at least 10 or more games in the league, and that's a league where the top scorers average about 3 points a game, and I think Reggie's averaging about 2 points a game. He just re-injured his shoulder, so he's had a few injury problems, and he's probably a little bit behind what his normal offensive pace is, but as you'll see, his team is right there in first place, and again, we know Reggie can score, so we've also put a little bit more emphasis with him on team-orientated things such as playing defense, so we're happy with his progress.
David, no more time to take calls, but as Mitch points out, when are you going to get Mario Lemieux then?
Well, Jeff, I got a finder's fee here for you if you can come up with that guy.
All right, we'll try, and we'll stay tuned here and hope for the Caps to pick it up a notch here in the second period. They trail after 1 period of play. Islanders 2, Caps no score.
Tango, I need a gun. Here. Oh, wait a minute. Why is yours bigger than mine? Genetics.
Tango and Cash, cleaning up crime together. Rated R. Starts Friday, December 22nd at a theater near you.
Toyota trucks deliver more!
Toyota trucks deliver more value, more than Ford Ranger or Chevy S10. More horsepower, more payload, more towing capacity. More value tomorrow with lower projected ownership costs and higher projected resale value. More value today with big Toyota factory-to-dealer incentives and option package savings. Your Toyota dealer delivers more truck value today and tomorrow.
Toyota trucks deliver more!
It can stop the hottest action. The Minolta Maxim 3000i. Ultra-wide angles. Over 30 autofocus lenses. Extreme telephoto zooms. It captures what no snapshot camera can, even in difficult lighting. It's the autofocus SLR that's this easy. The incomparable Maxim 3000i. Only from the mind of Minolta.
You know, Thrifty Car Rental has variety for everyone.
I can rent a new car from Thrifty and save money, money, money. Oh, yeah.
Have the four-wheel time of your life in the D.C. area. Call Thrifty today for rate information on this sporty Jeep Cherokee and to make advance reservations.
Thrifty, a lot of car rental company for incredibly little. Call Thrifty today and away you go!
Hi again, everybody. I'm Jeff Rimmer. And on behalf of everybody here at Home Team Sports, I'd like to wish you and yours the joyous of holiday seasons and a Happy New Year.
It's the Islanders 2 and the Washington Capitals nothing after one period of hockey at the Capitol Center tonight. Mike Fornes welcoming you back once again along with Al Koken here to Home Team Sports live exclusive hockey coverage. Well, I thought the Islanders played a pretty strong period, especially from center ice on in. They really showed a lot of speed at times, and it caught the Capitals off guard.
They forced the turnovers. They played strong defensively. The Capitals really just did not get anything established on the power play, which was the real difference, particularly when you factor in that the Islanders scored their first goal shorthanded. Let's show you the Capitals' shots, and you can see, you know, there were some chances, particularly to the right of Glenn Healy, but really no good second chances. Cicerelli, Bob Joyce ends up with a shot, Ridley, but the Capitals had some rebounds lying there and couldn't get to them, thanks in part to the good wrap-up work done by the New York defense.
Al, you mentioned second chances, and while the Hatcher giveaway led to the first Islander goal shorthanded, it was a second opportunity that accounted for the second New York scoring play.
Yeah, we'll show you first the Islander shot chart and then show you the two goals. And the Capitals really did make the one glaring mistake on the Hatcher giveaway that results in the Sutter goal, then couldn't control that rebound. Other than that, you see, they did a pretty solid job keeping Don Beaupre free of some great chances. But here's the first goal. Now here is Kevin Hatcher. You see, he is facing back this way, not up ice, because he's got Brad Lauer, the forechecker. Here's his partner, Calle Johansson, right behind him. So instead of having a guy here to pass to, Kevin Hatcher's going to try and swing it this way. He's going to see Mike Ridley. Also on the other side, he's going to see Kelly Miller. But anticipating that and stepping in to pick off the play is Brent Sutter. You see, Hatcher's got to try and turn quickly. He knows he's got pressure. He's got to give it up. Trying to hit Kelly Miller, and there's where Sutter comes in. Now, Calle Johansson tries to catch up with Sutter and is going to try and hold the stick and prevent him from shooting, but Sutter's able to get it down and snap it past Beaupre low on that glove hand side. The turnover by Hatcher, the shorthanded, unassisted goal by Brent Sutter, and the Islanders were off and running. Now, here's the second goal. This is the defenseman, Jeff Norton. He's got Maloney here. He's got Vakota here, who's matched up with Mike Ridley. The Caps have two defensemen back here. Let's just start the play, and you'll see the Capitals really kind of let things go here. It's Johansson and Scott Stevens. Now, there's the drop pass. Look at the way they let Norton just drop back there, and that's going to allow the shot to come through on a bit of a screen. Now, stop it right here. What happens is, luckily for the Capitals, Norton has peeled off, but Vakota has gotten away a little bit from Ridley, and you see that Stevens is going to come this way while the rebound comes out hard, and Calle Johansson is trying to keep an eye on Maloney. Now look what happens once that rebound comes right past Scott Stevens. This is where everything breaks loose. In comes Bakota to whack at it, and look how Maloney, stop it right here. See what's happened? Callie Johansson has let go of Don Maloney. Nobody also has come back to check. So when that puck is loose, you'll see what Maloney does. He just goes to that open area as he gets away from his man. McDonough could have took one whack at it, but it's Maloney who's going to get the goal. The Capitals have that breakdown, and what happens, you get that long rebound, goes right past Scott Stevens, and then Callie Johansson's got to turn his back to his player, and Maloney, a veteran player, is very smart to see that. He recognized Johansson has lost him. He goes to that open territory, and those rebounds, in that case, killed the Capitals. That makes it a 2-0 game.
Okay, let's check in now with Jeff Rimmer before play-by-play for period number 2.
Thanks, Mike. You know, the Washington Capitals try to get back to that elusive 500 mark here in the Patrick Division. They have a chance this weekend with games tonight against the Islanders, tomorrow night in Hartford against the Whalers. And the Capitals also got to be doing some scoreboard watching tonight. Our Washington Post scoreboard here on HTS as the Devils trail the visiting Los Angeles Kings by a score of 2-1 in the first period at the Meadowlands. Now the Capitals, with a win and the Devils' loss, could vault themselves a little higher in the standings to get to within one game of 500. But they've got to play catch-up hockey here in period number 2 as they trail 2-0 after a disappointing first period. Let's go back upstairs now to Mike and Al.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Capitals, of course, in that first period, with all the power play activity, they had 6 minutes of power play time and put only 4 shots on goal. It's a situation the Capitals are going to have to correct when they get the extra man next time. Other than that, they had some scoring chances. They've got to continue to drive and work hard in front. They also really didn't get a lot of forechecking pressure on that Islander defense, something the Capitals have been doing well lately to opposing defenses, but in that first period, the forechecking really was not there.
We're underway with period 2 as Callie Johansson throws the puck back inside the New York zone. Brent Sutter chases it, throws it back for Crossman. Now left side for Baumgartner. Out to center ice, and Brad Lauer throws it all the way down back into the Washington end. Bollock is there to chase it. Langway works the 3 for Hunter. Dale Hunter for the Capitals over to Rod Langway. Lauer ties up Bob Joyce. And Johansson goes to the corner, now finds Hunter. Work loose at the blue line and out to center ice. On the right wing, here comes Joyce across the line. Drop pass, Johansson fires a shot. That's blocked. Now taken away at the side of the net. It's held at the side of the goal, and Healy stopping play as Corvo and Baumgartner jam up in behind the net.
There you talk about Art Fitzpatrick. He, of course, came over to the New York Islanders in the trade for Kelly Rudy along with Wayne McNean. Well, there was a player to be named later, and this is the man who was named later, Doug Crossman. And he certainly has been a major factor on the Islander blue line, generating the offense, and I think he has been one of the real keys to having the Islander team, which has struggled in the overall standings, be one of the better power play teams. With the revived play of Jeff Norton and the good work of Crossman, the Islanders now have a couple very dangerous point men back there.
Kelly Miller with the puck at center ice, throws it back inside the New York zone. Yari Gronstrand up the left wing boards and sent to center. Here's Kerr to take it. Alan Kerr across the line for Pat LaFontaine. Chased by Scott Stevens to the corner. Puck covered by Sheehy. Islanders trying to dig it out. Finally they do. Sheehy right after Derek King to tie him up. And here's a pass from Cicerelli out to center. Ridley across the line. Back to Cicerelli. A slap shot. Hit the post. Second time in this game that Cicerelli has sent one off the goalpost. And now Healy covers up and smothers the puck. And Cicerelli must be wondering what adjustment he has to make to get the puck into the net in this contest.
Well, Dino Cicerelli certainly has been a hot man as of late. Here's the drive that goes off that far goalpost. Then he sends the centering pass in front, and you see Healy tries to stop it, but deflects it back towards him. Well, I like the pass work, though, Mike. It was almost like watching a Boston Celtic fast break. As soon as one winger would touch it, he'd give it up, and the Capitals were able to get an opening. Dino Cicerelli drilling the shot off that goal post.
18 minutes and 10 seconds left to play here in the second period of the game. The Islanders leading 2-0. Both goals came in the first period. Neither team has had a shot on net so far here in the opening 2 minutes of period 2. Gary Nyland throws it back inside the Washington zone. And the puck cleared over the glass and into the seats. Capitals with a record in the Patrick division of 7 wins and 4 losses. And contrast that to the success that the Islanders have been having as of late. Only 1 victory in the division this season with 11 losses and 3 ties. Imagine how that must grind on Al Arbor, having won Stanley Cups with this team and trying to rebuild it from the very beginning. Certainly an enormous task.
And watching how well his team has been playing lately out of the division. They shut out Chicago in Chicago. They shut out Buffalo at home. 0-0 tie against the New York Rangers, of course, a division team, but they've been playing good hockey outside of the division.
Gerald Diddick back at his own line. The Washington zone, and here's Bill Holder. Holder starts to center, gets across the blue line. Holder coming on the left wing, throws it into the corner. Courtnall digs it out to Pavelka, can't find Leach. Hatcher in from the right point, takes a shot, blocked, and Diddick to the point. Holder at drive, goes just wide. Now Hatcher sends it right in front of the net, and it's stopped there by Healy. There's a break in the action with the score. The Islanders 2 and the Capitals nothing.
The problem with many car repair guarantees is they cover very little. But there's one that covers more repairs longer than any other. The lifetime service guarantee from Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers. It's peace of mind for people who expect a little more.
For more information on the lifetime service guarantee, see Shee Ford of Springfield, 6727 Loisdale Road in Springfield.
Linesman Kevin Collins and Capital winger Alan May discussing things. Still one of the best linesmen in the National Hockey League, Kevin Collins.
Here's Crossman in the corner. Over to Murray, and now Alan May chased behind the net. Crossman has the puck. He's hit hard by Kyprios. Kyprios bumps Crossman hard. Puck cleared out to center ice. Alan May to take it and gives it now to Kalle Johansson. Johansson into the left wing corner. Up the left wing boards. The puck thrown back inside the Washington zone by Maloney. May ships it ahead for Johansson. He's bumped into the glass, and the puck cleared all the way down the ice into Islander territory. Baumgartner back for it. He gets there first, and the icing is called as May was right there to ride him into the boards with the whistle. Had a lot of contact tonight, I think, so far in the game between Baumgartner and May, and it hasn't produced a thing in terms of fisticuffs, where I thought maybe the first or second shift, those two would find each other.
Well, I like the quote that his teammate Gary Nyland said about Ken Baumgartner. He has a presence on the ice, is what Nyland says. Everybody knows he's out there, and that certainly is the case. Alan May, who's certainly filled the enforcer role for the Capitals, has got to know of Baumgartner's presence, and vice versa. But this is the type of guy, as we talked about at the top of the show, that is going to help protect his teammates and open up a lot of room out there. And you're going to go into the corners with Ken Baumgartner. You may take a piece of him, but you know he'll get some of it back.
Here's Sheehy into the corner. Leads it ahead for Ridley. Across the line with Kelly Miller. Drops the pass to him. Miller winds up a shot. Saved by Healy. And he smothers the puck. Dino Cicerelli kept away from the side of the net by an equally smaller opponent in Pat LaFontaine. Healy lifetime against Washington. 2 wins, 3 losses, and a tie with a 5.25 goals against average. pucks behind him when he plays the Capitals.
Well, you know, he had some tough games here when he was with the LA Kings. Remember the game last year where the Kings held the lead, and Healy got into some puck handling troubles. But he's the type of goaltender that, you know, really thrives on a lot of work, and unfortunately for Healy, he hasn't had a lot lately because Fitzpatrick has been so hot, but he's been strong tonight.
Grandstrand chases to the corner, and now here's Hunter with it behind the net. Sutter works it free up the left wing board. Sheehy keeps it inside the zone. We have a penalty call coming. This is going to be a holding minor. Time of the call, 4:07 of the second period. The penalty is against Jeff Norton of the Islanders.
You know, I see Nelson do something funny, and I say, "Hey, Nelson, hang on. Let me get the camera." Got the camera. He just sat there. So I put the camera down. And he takes off again. Does a somersault. Something cute like that. Picked up the camera. Nothing. Maybe we should have gotten the cat.
Every day, someone new switches to Fujifilm. Fuji, a new way of seeing things.
Available at W. Bell & Company.
The aggressive work of the Capital wingers have paid off here with a holding penalty to the Islanders' Jeff Norton. Capitals who have come out in this period really hitting, really working hard in the corners. Trying to take control of this game, and there's Ivan Korovo being wrapped up by Jeff Norton, preventing him from going after that loose puck along the boards. You can see not only are the Capital wingers really going in flying and trying to hit Mike, but so are the Capital defensemen. On almost every shift so far in this second period, the defenseman, at least one of them, has come in deep on the play.
Scott Stevens back at the right point now for Courtnall. Power play hockey for Washington. Courtnall a shot. Pad save to Healy. And Lauer chases the rebound, and it's cleared out of the zone by Nyland. All the way back in Washington ice, Scott Stevens is there to get it. Islanders 2, Capitals nothing. Norton in the box for holding at 4:07, and Washington has the man advantage. Healy has it knocked free. He's knocked down. The puck's still loose. Hunter gets jammed up by Lauer and twisted to the ice. There's it Nyland who throws Hunter down. Healy went back to play it, had 2 Capitals on him right away, and it looked like they were just going for the puck. The puck was cleared out of there immediately, but then suddenly Al Arbor's goaltender was down for the count, and the Islanders respond accordingly.
Well, it was Hunter and Joyce. Now, Hunter's going to be the first man back there. How much of Healy does he get? You can see he puts the shoulder in on him as he comes up with the puck, and then Bob Joyce runs into him as well. And the Islanders going right after Dale Hunter, who was going to get the initial penalty, and it'll be interesting to see if Nyland, in going after Hunter, takes the Islanders off of what would have been an even strength situation. You see the shoulder from Hunter drops Healy, and then Bob Joyce finishes him off.
He had lost the puck.
Number 36, you're in Ireland, 2 minutes for roughing. Washington, number 32, Dale Hunter, 2 minutes for charging. Calls come at 4:40.
Well, unlike the situation in the first period where Alan Kerr charged in to Don Beaupre, this time a charging call to Hunter, but where Neil Sheehy wanted to go after Kerr and didn't because he saw Kerry Fraser was going to make the penalty call, it did not deter Nyland. Nyland went right after Hunter. Of course, it looked to me like it was a much more solid collision than the one that Kerr put onto Beaupre. So I can understand Nyland's point of view there, and I'm sure it gets the approval of Al Arbor and his teammates for standing up for his goaltender.
Power play hockey continues for Washington. Here's Miller behind the net. Over to Cicerelli. Back to the point for Johansson. To Dino Cicerelli. Now to Johansson, a slap shot, a save by Healy. He juggles the rebound, and in the process, Miller tries to get in there, but is run off quickly by the Islander defense as Healy holds the puck.
Boy, was there plenty of stick activity in front of the net as well. It started out with Ridley going after Lauer, and then Nyland right to the left of your screen underneath the Hardee's logo. You see Mike Ridley getting cross-checked from behind. Crossman comes in there. Lauer originally Ridley had turned around, Mike, and had exchanged words with Lauer. Then they exchanged sticks. That traffic building in front, Healy pretty sharp in picking up the puck, holding onto the rebound as Kelly Miller comes crashing in, looking for that loose puck.
58 seconds to go, and the penalty call to Nyland. The Islanders still don't have a shot on net in the second period, while Washington has recorded 4. Kerry Fraser skating to the Islander bench for some words with Al Arbor. Cicerelli, a quick drive wide of the goal, right from the faceoff. Ridley held off by Maloney. McDonough lets Crossman take it, and he just clears it all the way down. Calle Johansson behind the goal. Starts out on the right wing to Kevin Hatcher. Hatcher to the blue line, gets inside the New York zone. Hatcher throws into the corner, and Miller has it behind the net. Too far for Cicerelli. Back to Johansson. Now to Dino Cicerelli. Along the boards to Ridley. Back to Cicerelli. Cicerelli chased by Crossman. Holds the puck out of the point. Johansson drives it. Off Miller's stick. It goes wide. Picked up behind the goal. Dino Cicerelli for Washington. 8 seconds left in the power play. Cicerelli back to the point. Johansson to Cicerelli in the corner. Back to Johansson. One times it on goal, and Healy makes the save. Healy had to reach out with that catching glove to make the grab.
Well, Glenn Healy discussing some things with his teammates to try and get a little clearer area. Nice two-man game developing on the Capitals power play between Cicerelli and Johansson. We talked about in the first period. This is a play that really has been working lately for the Capitals, and it's been developing lately. You see the positioning of Johansson and his ability to get that shot off in a one-timer situation. You need to set him up really to be most effective coming in from that left wing side as he's got the left-hand shot. You don't want him to have to shoot across the body, let the puck come into him for that left-hand shot. Calle Johansson gets it away quickly, usually gets it away on net and forces Healy. And yet another strong save. Caps have outshot the Islanders 15-6 so far in this game. Still trail 2-0 with 13:51 left to go in period 2.
Michael Pavanka against Pat LaFontaine, and LaFontaine wins the draw, brings it back to Baumgartner, and Leach barrels him into the board. Here's a pass out to LaFontaine at center ice. Throws it inside the Washington zone. Played by Beaupre into the corner, and Stevens sends it out to Courtnall. Now to Pavanka, back to Courtnall. He's across the line. Courtnall on the backhand, drops it off. Leach a shot, and a save made by Healy. Kept inside the line, though, by Pavanka. Into the corner for Leach. Baumgartner holds him off the puck, and the puck cleared to center ice. And Sheehy is back to get it. Lead pass off the sideboards and goes all the way down the ice. No icing here. Sheehy's back to get it. Both clubs at full strength on the ice as Pavanka works to center. Gets across the line. Courtnall on the left wing. A shot. Got it between the pads of Healy. But Norton cleared it away from behind him in the goal crease. Gronstrand over to Norton. Back to the point. Sheehy keeps it in. Sheehy jams up and Norton holds him, and now just as the puck squirts loose, the whistle blows and play is called.
Boy, tough to imagine the Capitals dominating the period more than they have so far. They've outshot the Islanders 7-0 at this point. Getting quality scoring chances. The last by Jeff Courtnall. A drive that got through Healy's pads, and Michael Pavanka looked like he had a chance at it. Reached out with the stick, but defenseman Jeff Norton was there quickly to clear it away from some danger. The Capitals working hard, getting the chances, still down 2-0, but a goal, if they get it, they are the team that gets the next goal. This hockey game is far from over. But if the Islanders score, particularly the way the Capitals have dominated so far, that would be a tremendous blow to the comeback chances of Washington.
Especially since they still have yet to record a shot in this period. Here's Norton winding up, and his drive cleared by the skate of Beaupre.
You know, Don Beaupre would like to have seen at least a couple shots. Not necessarily quality chances, but a couple shots.
Here's Murray coming on, fires to the side of the net. Kyprios parked in the goal crease. He's tripped up. Nothing called. Back come the Islanders. Randy Wood at the blue line. Over to Dale Henry. Takes it behind the net. Henry to the point. Last shot kicked out of there by Beaupre. After Nyland's shot cleared to the corner, now we get a penalty call, and it's going to be cross-checking.
This will be on Rod Langway. He's the man who dumped Gilles Thibodeau down in front of Beaupre. Let's check in with Jeff Rimmer.
Thanks, Al. On our Washington Post scoreboard, a total of 3 games, 2 of them now underway. The Red Wings playing at home tonight in the second period are leading the visiting Chicago Blackhawks. And it's the Los Angeles King, the visitors tonight at the Meadowlands. They lead the Devils by 1, also a second period score. Back upstairs now to Mike and Al.
Well, the Islanders will get their first penalty of this period as Langway gets the cross-checking call at 8:01. Drive from the point, and you see Langway taking care of Gilles Thibodeau. The Capitals thought that they could have gotten another penalty call against the Islanders as Nick Kyprios was dumped to the ice by Henry.
Back to live action now is Norton at the blue line, checked by Ridley. And now here's another penalty call coming. And Kerry Fraser is sending an Islander off the ice this time. It's going to be Norton for roughing. Time of the call, 8:09.
Number 8, Jeff Norton, 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the call is 8:09.
Well, I guess it's Norton's turn to get the penalties in the second period. It was Alan Kerr's turn in the first period as he got all 3 New York Islander penalties. Norton has had 2 minors so far in this period. As there was that coincidental skirmish between Hunter and Nyland. But the Islanders lose their power play opportunity. It's 4-on-4 hockey now for the next 1 minute and 52 seconds.
LaFontaine struggles from the faceoff, which is won by Mike Ridley. Stevens on with Hatcher. Led ahead to Pavanka and back to center ice, and Crossman takes over now. Dumps it across the line. Stevens chasing after it. Over to Kevin Hatcher. Left side for Mike Ridley. Here's Ridley, right wing. Hatcher across the blue line. And Nyland takes over in the corner. Now Hatcher gets it back to Pavanka. His shot stopped by Healy. And Healy holds on. 8-second difference in the Langway penalty and the Norton penalty. So when Langway comes out, a minute 22 seconds from now, Washington has a man advantage for 8 seconds. Then Norton is out of the box.
Brian Murray trying to take advantage of the 4-on-4 situation, putting both Ridley and Pavanka out on the ice at the same time. 2 natural center icemen. And now you've got 2 natural wingers. Dino Ciccarelli and Kelly Miller will be out there. Hatcher and Stevens remain as the defensive combination. Pollock and Brent Sutter, Diddick and Grandstrand will be the 4 skaters for Al Arbor's New York Islanders.
Grandstrand has it behind the net. Leads it up the left wing board. Sutter comes to center ice to Volek. Winds up and fires, and it's deflected way up into the seats. Out-of-town goaltending tonight. Mario Goslin in net for Los Angeles against the Devils' Chris Terreri. Jimmy Waite for Chicago against Glenn Hanlon for Detroit. Winnipeg and Vancouver just getting underway. Speaking of goaltending, how about that trade that saw Greg Millen go from the St. Louis Blues along with Tony Herkus to Quebec. Jeff Brown comes back to the St. Louis Blues. But did Millen really go to Quebec? Herkus is playing, right?
Yeah.
But
I understand Millen's in Florida, and he is very upset about the deal. Maybe he's just waiting for expansion.
He's a little early.
Yeah, hoping for that Orlando franchise. I really was surprised the Blues gave him up. I really thought that St. Louis was recognizing that they're right in the thick of that battle in the Norris Division, had a chance to certainly take the title. But you're going to ask a couple of young goaltenders, Vincent Riendo, and so far they brought up Guy Hebert from the Peoria team. They're waiting for Curtis Joseph, their million-dollar free agent goaltender to play a few more games in Peoria, but that's taking an awful big risk for two young goaltenders.
Cicerelli toppled by Gronstrand, and Wood turns and starts out. Gets across the blue line. Johansson chasing it behind the net. LaFontaine's right with him. We've got a pile-up along the boards. Scott Stevens and Randy Wood keep pushing at one another. And on the other side of the ice, Johansson and LaFontaine are scrapping. Now Cicerelli carries the puck into the Islander zone. At the point, Hatcher a drive, and Healy makes the save. Of course, there were so many rumors that Millen was headed here to Washington. The Blues very much interested in shopping him around, and he is a Quebec Nordique on paper. Has yet to appear in any games for them.
I would think also the Detroit Red Wings may be very interested in the goaltender.
Here's Hunter, starting out of the zone, but too far for Courtnall. And all the way back inside the Islander zone. Crossman back to get it to Holder. Over to Hunter. On his backhand to the point. Here's a shot by Hatcher right on. And back to Holder at the left point. His drive blocked by Brad Lauer. Holder's unable to keep it in, but Bollock has possession. And he starts out for New York to Crossman. Lauer a wrist shot, caught by Beaupre. That is the Islanders' third shot on goal in this period, only their 9th of the game. Washington has 20 for the evening. Leach at the blue line, held up by Maloney. McDonough throws it back into Washington territory. Here's Langway. Turns around and tries to get rid of it. It's kept in by Vakota, but his shot is stopped by Beaupre. Back come the Capitals. Jokes on the left wing pass. Pavanka hustling into the zone after it. Gives it to Leach. He's bumped by Baumgartner. Leach and Baumgartner scrapping along the sideboards, and now we get a penalty from referee Kerry Fraser.
Boy, and Michael Pavanka's stick just caught Nick Vakota in the face. Does not look like Vakota is injured, but there could be more coming out of this. Well, only at Capital Cadillac can you experience the Capital Commitment, featuring lifetime lubrication, oil, and filter change with the purchase of your new Cadillac. Capital Cadillac, located on the Capital Beltway, exit 23 in Greenbelt, Maryland.
2 minutes for roughing. Time to call is 11:45. Islanders penalty number 24, Ken Baumgartner.
Only one penalty call, and that's a Baumgartner for roughing.
45.
Time of the call, 11:45, so Washington comes out of it with a power play advantage.
This game really has heated up in the last 5 minutes, too, Mike. The Capitals had come out strong in the second period, really hitting. Now the Islanders are answering back. Plus, there is a lot of clutching going on the part of the Islanders to try and slow the momentum of the Capitals. You see Baumgartner and Leach against the Baumgartner roughing call in that little exchange along the boards. The more you grab onto the sticks, particularly against the team that's struggling to come from behind, the shorter the fuses. Gary Fraser's going to have his hands full if this continues.
Here's Scott Stevens out there with Hatcher. Works to center ice and gives to Kelly Miller. Miller across the blue line on the right wing to Cicerelli. Back to the point for Hatcher. Over to Stevens. Keeps it inside the zone. Now to Miller in the corner. Kelly Miller for Washington. Skates in and guides it to the corner for Mike Ridley. Ridley back to the point for Stevens. To the right side. Here's Hatcher. A shot. On the deflection. A deflection gets past Glenn Healy, and the Capitals are on the board with a power play at 2-1.
Keep an eye on the front of the net where Nyland and Miller are dueling. Now this shot is coming in high, and it ends up low, and I don't know, maybe Dino Cicerelli is the guy who finally got that last piece of it. But you see the traffic in front, Nyland and Miller, and then Cicerelli's stick comes in, and it looks like Cicerelli may have gotten that final piece of it. But you see, Hatcher's shot is coming up high, and when it finally crosses the net, crosses the goal line, it's already bouncing. So there's a clear-cut deflection in front, whether it was Cicerelli, Miller, or Nyland in front. We'll wait for the call, but the important part for the Capitals, they get on the board and get it on the power play. One more time, yep, Dino Cicerelli. He's going to be the man to get the goal.
Scored by number 22, Dino Cicerelli.
Boy, great camera work to give you that final angle to slow it down and show you how Cicerelli has got the Caps back in this hockey game.
Power play goal by Dino Cicerelli. Only his third power play goal of the year. His 15th goal of the season. Scott Stevens gets an assist along with Kevin Hatcher at 12:15. A whistle now as play is stopped. Alan Crew spent a lot of time in the penalty box in the first period. You know, Dino hasn't been taking many penalties lately.
No.
He's been getting his name in the scoring column more than he has in the penalty side.
Certainly still has been agitating the opposition, but when he is hot like this, what a tremendous deflection that is. That thing is coming up high. You know, 90% at least of the deflections you see of players deflecting shots come from when they're on the ice. This one was up around waist or chest level, and Dino Cicerelli had to be so quick with that stick to get it on and drop it down past here.
Plus, he hasn't got much room to work with up high because it doesn't take a very high shot to be at shoulder height for him, making it illegal. A tremendous job done there to score that goal. 2-1 score. Calle Johansson at the right point. Slap shot. Save to Healy. Cleared up the boards for Courtnall. Now over to Leach. Leach spins around. A backhand shot goes just wide. And it's picked up by Courtnall. Throws to the corner for Steve Leach. Now on to Pavonka. Centers and a shot and a goal! Jeff Courtnall ties the game at 2.
Here you see where Calle Johansson getting to the play confuses the Islanders. That's Johansson right in front. Derek King came in all the way from the point with him, and that left LaFontaine to try and stop Courtnall. Pavonka's centering pass gets through, and the Capitals, who continue to push the attack with their defensemen coming in deep, force another mistake deep in New York Islander territory, and Courtnall makes it count. 2-2 hockey game on the Courtnall tally.
Assist number 21, Steve Leach.
Leach and Pavonka assisting on Courtnall's 11th goal of the year. Comes at 13:28. Slap shot wide of the net, and it's cleared off the boards and out to center ice. Alan May hustling after it. Coming on the backhand, and it stopped the puck into the corner. Here's Kyprios to chase it. He's bumped by Norton. Norton cross-checks Kyprios. And the Islanders come out. Dale Henry to center ice. In across the blue line. Drop pass. Thibodeau spun around, and now it's worked up over the glass into the seats for a souvenir puck. Caps have tied it up at 2-2 here in the second period. Back with more after this.
If I get the ball, you at mercy of whatever I want to do.
Another huge Capital Center crowd on hand, and they are buzzing now as the Capitals have scored 2 goals in the span of 1 minute and 13 seconds to tie this game up. First, it was Cicerelli on the power play, then Courtnall. And we've got 5:50 left in the second period.
Corriveau back to the point, but it's kept inside the zone by Baumgartner, who is seeing a lot of ice time for New York. He walks in, takes a wrist shot. Beaupre blocks it, and Hunter digs after the puck. Sheehy tries to take it away, but it comes right out front. And McDonough's shot rides off the arm of Beaupre into the crowd.
And Don Beaupre certainly the forgotten man in this second period. Hasn't been called on to make too many stops, but did come up big earlier on that man, Mick Vukota, and then comes out and challenges Baumgartner and makes the save there. He's got to realize right now, all the momentum on the Washington side, he has just got to come up with the strong stops. The way the Capital forwards, defense have been flying offensively, Beaupre has not been seeing many shots. What a big down it would be for the Capitals to let a soft goal in. But Don Beaupre, who's not seen, as we mentioned, a lot of work, and you talk to Don Beaupre, he likes to see not only just get into games, but he likes to see shots. Not a tremendous variety of shots, but he doesn't like to go more than just a couple minutes without seeing a shot on goal.
Here's Crossman out to center ice. Steps it back inside the Washington zone. Maloney held up by Scott Stevens. The puck played out of the zone and all the way back inside Islander territory. 5 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the second period. The game tied at 2-2. Here's Dale Hunter. Chased by Crossman. Clears it back to the right point. Kevin Hatcher turns and shoots. That's knocked down by Baumgartner. Healy lunges out and clears the puck with his goal stick. Back come the Islanders on the attack at the blue line. Vukota dumps it in behind the net. Scott Stevens takes over there. Up the boards for Bob Joyce. Joyce, the newest Capital, acquired in the trade with Boston for Dave Christian. Now McDonough throws it on into the Washington zone, and Hatcher's back after it. Icing's the call with 4:28 to play in the second period. Bob Joyce bumping with Baumgartner right in front of the bench as they were headed back. Crossman was headed off the ice. Baumgartner was staying on, and Joyce bumped right into him.
Joyce and Ivan Corbo, and on that last shift of theirs, you can see where the Capital forechecking game has turned this contest around. Aaron passed back to the point. Crossman had to go back and get it. He had his partner back there. And yet, because Joyce and Corbo were bearing down on him, he threw a rather weak clearing pass around the boards. Dale Hunter was able to come in and pick it off and turned around and had some activity in front of Glenn Healy. That's where that forechecking now for the Caps is really paying off.
Healy has the puck but can't find it. Now as he drops to the ice, the puck falls from his leg pads. And the faceoff will be to his left. Capitals in a 2-2 tie with the New York Islanders. 4:20 left to play here in the second period. Washington has won only one of their last 8 games here at the Capitol Center, with a home record of 4-6-2. Here's Volek across the line, jammed up by Langway. And Kelly Miller turns and starts back. Miller across the line, trips up. The puck loose at the blue line. Sutter takes over. He starts back. Left wing side, Volek centering, looking for Sutter. Can't find him. Volek has it again. His backhander off the skates of Langway. Was almost a miracle. That didn't go in the goal. Volek back to take it. The Washington line. Calle Johansson. Back to center ice for Pavanka. Kerr works at 3. He's tripped up by Pavanka. And a penalty call here is going to put the Islanders on the power play advantage. Pavanka heads to the box at 16:41 of the second period. And the call is going to be tripping.
Well, that inability to control the puck cleanly in the neutral zone. It was bouncing around. Michael Pavanka took a couple of whacks at it, but couldn't clear it into the Islander end. The Islanders were able to come up with it at the red line, and as Kerr starts in, Pavanka trips him up. And now with 3:19 left to go in the period, the Islander power play with a chance to regain the lead.
New York starting so slowly in the shot department in this period. They're now up to 11. for the game, giving them 5 in this period. They had 6 in the first period. Washington with 10 shots in the first period. They've recorded 16 here in period 2. The pressure's been on the Islander net. The Capitals have outscored the Islanders 2-0 in this period. Sheehy standing by, and now as LaFontaine works a 3, he chases King. Puck past Norton all the way to the New York blue line. Crossman back to chase it. Murray takes over. Out to Kerr on right wing. Alan Kerr. Murray throws a hit on Crossman. Puck cleared to the board. Norton's over to get it. Crossman dumping Murray. Here's Norton firing, and it goes just wide of LaFontaine, who is parked at the side of the net, right to Ciccarelli's favorite spot. Here's a shot by LaFontaine. It struck Stevens in front. Now the rebound hits a leg pad. It's still loose, and Stevens chases it to the corner with Diddick. Derek King to LaFontaine. Oh, and Beaupre was there to make the save on him. Down to 49 seconds left in the Pavanka penalty, and the Islanders come back for more on the power play. Bollock to the corner. Hatcher tries to work it free. Norton checks on the play. Now Langway lets it go behind the net. He chases Bollock. LaFontaine fans on a shot, and back come the Capitals shorthanded. Here's Alan May on the right wing. One and fires, and a save made by Healy. And May crashes into the corner, and this time drops the gloves and is throwing some right-hand punches in there. Linesman Swede Knox standing by. Now Kevin Collins comes in as well, and they separate the two players. And Gerald Diddick and Alan May are pulled apart and will be sent to the dressing rooms now with only a minute 40 remaining in the period, I would think. Now Diddick is taken off, and Kevin Collins has a look at the scoreboard and now decides to send May to the dressing room as well.
Alan May getting the opportunity, as we mentioned, in the absence of David Christian, to kill off penalties. And not only to do a nice job of getting in and had a 3-on-2, he elects to take that shot, forces Healy to make a big save, but watch him come in aggressively on Diddick. Diddick certainly took exception. You can see the shot he gives May there in the face, and that's all it's going to take for Alan May to get the gloves off when he can and deliver a few himself. He's got Diddick completely wrapped up down there. Now before that, though, Don Beaupre comes up with his best work of the game. The danger of Pat LaFontaine coming in. Beaupre does a pretty good job of standing the ground. That quick move over to the side of the net and comes out to challenge a bit. And that helps make the big stop to keep it a 2-all hockey game. We've got a minute 40 left to go in the second period. 21 seconds left to go in the Michael Pavanka penalty call. You know, one of the things, too, that fight does, Mike, the Islanders were on their way up ice. Now you look where this faceoff is.
And amazingly enough, it's only called roughing. I thought I saw a couple of punches being thrown in there by Alan May, but it's just 2-minute minors, which still takes them off the ice surface. Remember, as you say, it may slow up their momentum.
Sure. Remember, Kerry Fraser was up ice as well, as the Islanders had already gained the red line as they were coming up, and he had to look back and saw the fight when he blew his whistle. You can see how that really works to the advantage of the Capitals, where this faceoff is now. If they're able to win the draw, they can pretty much kill off the rest of this penalty.
Here's Langway. Ahead for Ciccarelli. Now Norton takes over in the Islander zone. Pavanka ready to come back out on the ice in just 5 seconds. Hatcher back to chase Nyland. The puck cleared to Ciccarelli. Washington at full strength. And New York on the attack as Bollock skates to the blue line, but LaFontaine is offside on the left wing.
Bollock, maybe a few people disappointed in his start so far. He was a guy who was on the all-rookie team last year. It was terrific for the New York Islanders. Only 8 goals and 13 assists so far, and I think the Islanders at this point in the season thought they'd see a little more. Now we've got a little action brewing at center ice between Baumgartner and Sheehy.
Stevens and Hunter in there as well.
Caps get the draw. And Sheehy out to center. Ties up with Baumgartner, who keeps going at him, and now the puck cleared back inside the Washington zone. In the final minute of play in the period, a backhand shot by Wood, stopped by Beaupre. He also holds off McDonough's drive. Out comes Dale Hunter on the attack. Hunter to center ice. Across the blue line offside with a pass out of the zone. Corvo brought it in. Hunter already in New York ice to stop play.
One of the things that really has impressed me about Dale Hunter this year, Mike, is I just think he's skating better than he has in the last couple of years for Washington. His speed, it really, to me, is dramatically improved. You think of Hunter in so many other ways, but watching him when he gets a little room, he has really been darting. His acceleration has been outstanding, and I think that has been such a key to his game right now, why he's off to a very good offensive start with the 10 goals so far this year.
And remember how the big concern when the trade was made about Hunter was the bad knee. Yeah. They said he's damaged goods for a lot of people. Stevens clears off the corner glass and brings it out to Pavanka. Pavanka to center, gets across the blue line. Over on the right wing, Leach, a slap shot, save made by Healy, and the rebound cleared by McDonough all the way back into the Washington zone. And here's a whistle to stop play with an icing call. Only 9 seconds left to go in the second period.
Ken Baumgartner, skating by the Capitals bench, has got some Capitals engaged in comments to him, including Capital coach Brian Murray. Capitals will get this face-off with 9 seconds left. Chance to work a play. One of the most effective plays the Capitals have been able to run has been a little play where they almost don't win the draw completely back to the point, just a little bit back to where Dino Ciccarelli can handle the puck. Of course, it works a little better when it's on the opposite side of the ice, so Ciccarelli can come in from the boards and has a better shooting angle. Ciccarelli will be out there along with Hunter and Ridley. In case Hunter gets tossed out, you got Ridley to take the face-off. Hunter gets it right back to Stevens.
Over to Kevin Hatcher with a slap shot just wide of the net. Ciccarelli was trying to tip that one in. Time runs out as the Islanders' Brad Lauer clears it all the way down. And the Capitals have all the scoring in the second period. Ciccarelli on the power play is 15th of the year. Then Courtnall with his 11th of the season. And the Capitals have tied the Islanders up at 2-2. Shots on goal in the second period for New York, 9, a two-period total of 15. And Washington with 18 shots in the second period alone. They have 28 for the game. Back with more from the Capitol Center after this.
The Washington Capitals again dominating play in the second period here at the Capitol Center. This time, though, they get on the scoreboard and get a couple of goals as they dominate the Islanders. But on the scoreboard after 40 minutes of play, we are tied 2-2. Welcome back. I'm Jeff Rimmer. And let's get a look at the scoring plays in periods 1 and 2 with our scoring track, sponsored by Track Auto. The New York Islanders, despite being dominated in that first period by the Capitals, were able to score the only 2 goals of the first period. First, it was a shorthanded marker. Sutter is 12th of the year at 7:19, and then at 10:49, Maloney from Pakota and Norton made it 2-0 for the New York Islanders. That's all the scoring in the first period. We move to period number 2, and the Capitals get a power play goal from Dino Ciccarelli. A tip it in front of the net. His 3rd power play goal, 15th of the year. Hatcher and Stevens drawing assists at 12:15. Caps cutting the margin to just 1 goal. Then a little over a minute later, Jeff Courtnall with his 11th of the year tied the score from Pavanka and Leach. And that's it. After 2 periods of play, the Washington Capitals all tied up here at the Capitol Center with the visiting New York Islanders. The Capitals in Game 4 here this series are looking at another victory. They won 2 of the first 3. On our Washington Post scoreboard tonight, a total of 3 games on the schedule. 2 of the games now in progress. 1 a late West Coast game. The Detroit Red Wings, playing at home tonight, now in the 3rd period, are leading the visiting Chicago Blackhawks by 3. And it's the Los Angeles Kings clinging to a 1-goal lead over the home team. In this case, the New Jersey Devils at the Meadowlands by a score of 4-3. Again, bear in mind, that a Devils loss and a Capitals win would vault Washington into third place in the Patrick Division, and it also would get them back to within one game of the elusive 500 mark in the National Hockey League's overall point standings. So we've got more of our second intermission ahead. Stay tuned. The Washington Capitals with a pair of second period goals, all tied up here now with the Islanders at 2.
What do more drivers say after an oil change with Pennzoil at Jiffy Lube?
I can drive for miles and miles. I can drive for miles and miles. I can drive for miles and miles and miles and miles.
Every 3,000 miles, quality Pennzoil, lube, fluids, 10 minutes. Jiffy Lube, we give more cars more miles and miles.
Lazarus borealis, Didelphus marsupialis.
Many creatures in the animal kingdom come out at night.
Tyto alba.
Some are more exciting to watch than others.
The Subaru Legacy L Wagon and the Volvo 240 DL Wagon. Which one is the bigger value? Well, the Subaru Legacy has lots of standard features the competition doesn't, like more horsepower, power windows, and more combined legroom, all for about $4,700 less. So it's clear the Subaru Legacy really cuts the Volvo down to size. Test drive the exciting 1990 Subaru Legacy.
Baby, I'll be there for you. You can depend on me, yeah. There's no need for you to cry, 'cause I'll be right there by your side. You can depend on me.
New improved Kodak batteries last longer than ever. So when you need us, we're there.
You can depend on me.
New Kodak batteries. Depend on us to last longer.
Cold filtered. Never heat pasteurized. Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its smooth, real draft beer taste, the world is a very cool place. So tap into the cold. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
It's a 2-2 hockey game between the Islanders and the Washington Capitals after 2 periods of play. Mike Forbes and Al Koken welcoming you back once again here on Home Team Sports. Well, that's more like it. The Capitals playing a similar style, or a similar result, I should say, in the second period that the Islanders played on them in the first period, and that sort of aggressiveness will pay off for them if they can continue that in period 3.
It really was the aggressiveness. They came out flying, they came out hitting, they kept the defensemen in deep, forced all the action, and really got the key goal on the power play, where they struggled on the power play in the first period, which I thought was the difference in the period. Here they get one and get the momentum really on their side and tied this hockey game up at 2-2. Let's show you the Capital shot chart to start, and you'll see a lot more activity in front of Glenn Healy, even though the Islanders still did a pretty decent job of keeping those shots coming from off the wing. They were able to get something done in front of Glenn Healy, where the Washington Capitals. And it started out with a nice bit of combination work on the power play. Here's Mike Ridley with the puck. Now you've got Kelly Miller right here with Doug Crossman. Here's Dino Cicerelli. Here's Gary Nyland. The way Crossman is tied up with Miller, there's movement. Miller rotates away. As Ridley starts to come out here, you see Crossman coming out with him as well. Now what that'll do is it'll make a 2-on-1 in front of Glenn Healy. You see as Crossman comes out, now stop it. Look where Crossman is. He's out here anticipating Ridley. Gary Nyland is wrapped up with Miller in front. That means the dangerous Dino Cicerelli is loose. You also see how the Islander penalty-killing forwards are down pretty low. They're not really challenging the Capital point men. Ridley throws it back to Scott Stevens, will then throw it over to Kevin Hatcher. Hatcher, recognizing he's got a little room to shoot, steps in and watch the way Dino Cicerelli moves in front. So stop it right here. Nyland has come to take care of Kelly Miller, but there goes Cicerelli into open territory, and he's going to be the man to deflect the Kevin Hatcher shot. A very dangerous player let loose because you saw Doug Crossman come out a little high, and Dino Cicerelli makes a brilliant move to put that stick out and knock the shot that's coming in high down past Glenn Healy. There's the movement you want from the Washington Capitals. Now let's also take a look at this other goal that the Capitals scored to tie it up. And watch the good work in the corners and along the boards. Langway throws it down the boards. Here comes one defenseman, Didick, to eliminate Stephen Leach, but he keeps it alive to Michael Pavanka. The other defenseman comes out towards Pavanka. That means the forwards have to come back and help. Derek King does the job on Johansson, but Pat LaFontaine cannot catch up with Jeff Courtnall. And with the two defensemen coming out to challenge the Capitals along the boards and in the corner, that means you've got a guy in Derek King who's a young player and a guy in Pat LaFontaine who has struggled with this plus-minus doing the work in front. Pavanka makes the nice centering pass, and Courtnall bangs it home to put the Capitals tied in this game at 2-all.
Let's take a look now at the Islanders shot chart and show you how they did in the second period. And as you can see, 9 shots, most of them coming late in the period, and no goals. And the big save that Beaupre made came on Pat LaFontaine, number 16, as Beaupre slid across and then came out to challenge. He also made a nice stop on Vakota, number 12, to keep the Capitals in the game before they really got on track. Well, we talked about the Islanders doing so well, I thought, from center ice on in. Their skating and their quickness in the first period. The Capitals seem to do so much with pressure during the second period. We'll see what sort of combinations the teams throw together for period 3. We'll be right back with more from the Capitol Center in just a moment.
When 2 of LA's top rival cops...
You know me, huh?
Yeah, I hear you're the second best cop in LA.
It's funny, I hear the same thing about you.
Go gunning for trouble. They drive each other crazy. Tango and Cash. Rated R. Starts Friday, December 22nd.
There's a special feeling at giant food in everything we do. It's a feeling that you get from people who care. We put quality and value in everything we do. But most of all, we care about you. At Giant Food, we care about you.
People around here know lasting value is best. That's why over the last 2 years, almost 500,000 truck buyers have bought the best. Toyota trucks, the #1 truck in customer satisfaction. Toyota 4x4s beat Ford Ranger with a bigger payload, better horsepower, and more towing capacity. Toyota 4x4s deliver higher retained value, big projected ownership savings, and a lower sticker price. That's lasting value. See your Toyota dealer. We deliver value today and tomorrow.
Hardee's presents the Great Hamburger Cover-Up. Now, for a limited time only, our quarter-pound hamburgers come with special toppings. Pizza, pizzazz, tantalizing, taco, bacon, and Swiss sensation. Get in on the Great Hamburger Cover-Up, only at Hardee's and only for a limited time.
Gifts have been provided by CB Sports, celebrating 20 years as America's leading ski and sports apparel manufacturer. Worn by world-class athletes, CB Sports is committed to winning. See what's behind the label. Visit your local CB dealer.
Jeff River back here on Home Team Sports. Our second intermission continues. The Capitals and the Islanders tied 2-2. And our pleasure to welcome the Caps Vice President of Marketing, Lou Strudler, to our Home Team Sports interview session here. And Lou, the Capitals here now on the strength of their schedule here, playing a number of Patrick Division opponents. Tonight, the Islanders, and for the holiday season, 2 more with the Penguins and the Rangers coming in just after Christmas.
No, this is a big time of the year for us. We know a lot of fans like to come out around the holidays. Obviously, we play the Rangers next Saturday, then we play the Penguins on December 26th. And then 2 other big games, Detroit and LA. We bring the 3 big guys, Lemieux, Yzerman, and Gretzky, back-to-back.
You know, we should point out, too, that I know many people expect the Capital games to be sold out. these games still have some tickets remaining.
All of our games upcoming have games available, seats available. The only one at this point that is down to the last 100 seats is LA on January 1st. But all of the other ones, like Pittsburgh on December 26th, we have 3,500 seats left.
Let's talk about the success of the Capitals Christmas sale or pre-Christmas sale. I know they've gone very well, but you've got some other ideas for those still shopping for the Capitals fans for Christmas.
Right, the team did a video. We didn't ask you to be in it this year.
Why not?
Well, you were in it last year, and it didn't do so well. No, the players all got together. We spent an afternoon. We did 2 videos, and we put that together with our highlight film. It's made a very attractive package, and it's doing very well. People who are interested, all they have to do is call our office.
I hear there's a great rugby shirt. How come you're not wearing one?
Well, because it's so hot now, we ran out of them. The new ones will be in tomorrow morning. Again, no, we've got a lot of good merchandise. If you're looking for the gift, you're looking for a souvenir, call us at 386-7000, and we'll make you a happy person for the Christmas season.
Well, all the Capital fans still have some time to look after their own Capital fans and their family.
There we do, and let's look after the third period tonight, get a goal, and that'll even be a better Christmas gift for all of us.
You mean you haven't guaranteed that? That's part of your job, the marketing man, isn't it?
We try. We try to keep snow away, we try to bring goals in, and we try to give everybody a good time when
You're not doing a good job on the snow, I hear.
No, I think we're getting a little snow tonight, and this is the 3rd one for this year, which is a little unusual for us in Washington at this time of the year. Hopefully we get it over with early, and we don't worry about it after January.
How about a Capital snow shovel?
That's a good idea. See, Jeff, I think we're going to make you, put you on the staff.
All right, thank you. Lou Strudler of the Washington Capitals back upstairs to Mike and Al.
All right, thank you, Jeff and Lou. Well, we've got an opportunity like to pass a couple of hellos on to people watching us throughout the region on Home Team Sports. Carla Brown would like to say hello to her parents, Gene and Carl, watching us tonight in Richmond. And hi from Charlie and the boys to all the guys at North Carolina Wesleyan College watching us tonight on Home Team Sports. The Capitals with that 18-9 advantage in shots in the second period give him 28 for the game. Their attack really came on, and of course the big difference I thought was that power play goal. It ignited the crowd, ignited the Capitals. They were able to follow up after the Cicerelli power play goal with a Courtnall tally at just 1 minute and 13 seconds after that. And you have to look for your big guns to score, Mike, and the Capitals so far have gotten that for their comeback. They've got Cicerelli, they got Courtnall. Now we'll see where that goal comes from for the victory, if it's to be that way for the Capitals tonight.
We're just about set to begin play here in the 3rd period. The Islanders have Lauer out there along with Brent Sutter. Baumgartner and Crossland are back. Volek is up on the wing. Washington has Pavanka on with Leach and Courtnall, Johansson, and Langway.
Also be interested to see how Brian Murray wants to play this period. Aggressive hockey, letting his defensemen come up on the play, got the Capitals back in it in the second period as he continued to press the attack, because the Islanders did have some 2-on-1s, 3-on-2 opportunities as that period wound down, with the Capital defensemen continuing to push up on the attack. So they play a little conservative, or they go right after the Islanders as they did for their comeback in the second period.
Crossman back into his own zone, now gives to Volek, and he sends it over to Baumgartner. Baumgartner rushes the puck to center ice, dumps it across the line, back inside the Washington zone. Langway steers it up the boards, and here is Leach. Over to Johansson. Left wing side, Courtnall hooked on the play, no call. Back come the Islanders. Norton, left wing side for Lauer. Gets across the blue line. High wrist shot, caught by Beaupre. Up the left boards, and here is Pavanka. Passes behind Cicerelli, and it goes on into the Islander zone. Now back to the blue line for Sheehy. Cicerelli throws it rink wide. Groundstrand over to get it. And it's cleared back to center ice. Delayed offside here, and finally the whistle blows, as they call it, with 18:40 to go in the 3rd period.
Third period, Television replay sponsored by Subaru and your local Subaru dealer. And by...
Barber seems pretty content. You know, I think a lot of people were wondering how would he react to a team that was rebuilding. When he stepped away, he said he didn't want to come back. But Bill Torrey got him back there. He seems pretty content back there. He seems happy, and it seems like he'll be back there maybe more than just a year that people thought.
The Islanders, of course, with the same brain trust. Here's a shot by Cicerelli, blocked and thrown behind the Islander net. You've still got Bill Torrey, the general manager. Now you've got Al Arbor in there still coaching. How can you ever duplicate the drafts that the Islanders had back in the years when they were taking Bossy, Trache, Gillies, on and on and on. The list went. Jimmy Devellano responsible for a lot director of scouting with Bill Torrey for all those draft years that were so successful.
And that's been part of the problem for the Islanders. You know, 1984, haven't gotten anything out of McPherson in their first, it was their first round choice. Derek King and Delgarno in 85.
Here's a scoring chance, but the puck shot up high off the glass. Cicerelli back in the corner to get it. Dino works to the blue line, now taken over at center ice, but Hatcher helps him out and fires a shot just wide of the net. Maloney bumped by Corriveau. Hatcher dumps it in. It's cleared behind the goal and up the boards. Maloney back to get it at center ice. McDonough toppled by Holder. This shot blocked and cleared up the boards, and now Crossman winds and fires, and a pad save made by Beaupre. Crossman back into his own zone. A pass to Wood. Left wing side for Baumgartner. Throws it rink wide, and Beaupre lets it go behind the net. Here's Murray on the right wing. Throws it into the Islander zone, and it climbs the glass and goes into the seats. There's a break in the action. This game tied at 2-all.
At All-Star Dodge, with just $500 down cash or trade, you can buy a 1990 Dodge Daytona for just $152 a month. A 1990 Dodge Omni America, just $123 a month. An exciting 90 Dynasty with automatic and air conditioning, just $216 a month. All-Star has a 1990 Dodge Caravan with automatic and air for just $233 a month. All-Star Dodge, Baltimore's #1 Dodge retail dealer. #1, All-Star Dodge, you'll love them.
Glenn Healy has seen a 2-0 Islander lead evaporate. It's a 2-all hockey game with 16:28 left to play. His faceoff just outside of the Islander defensive end between Murray and Pat LaFontaine.
Langway's long drive kicked aside. And now Jari Granstrand chases to the corner. Brings it out on the right wing. LaFontaine to center ice across the blue line. Poke check by Langway. Taken over by Alan May. Left side for Nick Kyprios. Kyprios turns a shot and a goal! Nick Kyprios diving into the net and going after the puck on a turnaround spinner shot that puts the Washington Capitals into a 3-2 lead.
But Mike, I think this may be Ron Murray's first NHL goal. I think Ron Murray may have got the final little piece of this in front.
Yeah, that's why he went after the puck.
Boy, if so, what a moment to do it. The Capitals standing up well at the blue line, forcing the puck away from the Islanders. And you see how it goes off Murray there? Looks like it may just have gone off his skates there as Kyprios fired it. Murray had his back really to the goal. Kyprios just sending it to front. And Rob Murray, first NHL goal. What a great moment. You know, I think about John Druce's first NHL goal last year. That beat the St. Louis Blues in a close game, 3-2. Right now, it makes it a 3-2 Washington Capital lead. We'll see if this stands up.
Well, nothing wrong with that.
Capitals goal number 23, Rob Murray.
High shot blocked. Alan May gets an assist, so does Kyprios on Rob Murray's first NHL goal. Time of the goal, 3:58. The first goal Gordie Howe ever scored went in off the seat of his pants. So,
that's right.
Like the players say, at the end of the year, they don't ask how, they just ask how many. Here's a shot deflected by the goal stick of Healy into the corner.
And I think this is going to be a penalty to Jeff Courtnall, who had that stick up around the face of Gerald Diddick. So the capital penalty killers will be out there to try and protect this 3-2 lead.
Labatt's blue.
Evening is mine. I hurry to mine.
Clean. Crisp.
Labatt's blue.
Turn to the right.
Imported beer from Canada.
We'll lead you to mine.
Labatt's blue.
Heaven.
High sticking is the call to Jeff Courtnall. 4:47, the time of the penalty. Diddick and Courtnall will engage themselves before they get to the corner, and you see how the stick is right up there in the face of Gerald Diddick. Right underneath his chin. Diddick responds with a little rap to the side of the head, but by that time, Kerry Fraser was making the high sticking call.
Islanders get the draw, and Norton sends it left side for King. King back into his own zone. Kelly Miller checked in the play, and now Norton chases it in behind the net. Right side pass for Crossman. Out to center ice. Norton back to Crossman. To Norton. To Crossman across the line. Flips it right in front for Alan Kerr, but it's played away. Beaupre reaches out to keep it out of there. Kevin Hatcher up the board. And sent outside the line by Kelly Miller. Now Hatcher sends it all the way down. It bounces on net. Norton back to take it. 3-2 Washington. Power play hockey for the Islanders, and Langway tries to clear it. Gets it to the point. Crossman keeps it in. Now back at the goal. LaFontaine. Langway working on him. Hatcher shoves Kerr to the ice. The puck still loose in the corner. Now it's played off the corner glass and right out front. Pavanka grabs that. He takes off. Pavanka across the blue line. And loses it in the corner as Crossman's there to get it. Now Rollick turns to start out, but a penalty call coming. High sticking and slashing calls coming as Pavanka involved behind the play there with Crossman. And Crossman put in the box. They'll throw Pavanka in there too.
Well, this is after Crossman had been able to get that puck away from Michael Pavanka, and you see Crossman trying to slow Pavanka up.
Here the penalties of agreed on Crossman of the Islanders. 2 minutes for slashing. And number 20, Michael Pavanka of the Capitals. 2 minutes high sticking. Calls come at 6:11. On the penalty for agreed on Crossman, he gets 2 minutes for slashing.
6:11 the time of the penalty calls. Still 35 seconds left on the Courtnall minor, which gives the Islanders some power play time here. They trail. Washington in the lead 3-2. Here's Norton. Leads a pass ahead on the right wing side. LaFontaine cutting on. A backhand shot and a goal. Beaupre felt that he was bumped. And skates out of the net now, almost to the blue line. But the Islanders persevering as LaFontaine just kept charging on. Beaupre not finding anyone to listen to his complaint.
Well, here's why this guy is one of the best hockey players in the NHL, and pound for pound, one of the toughest. Getting hacked at by Scott Stevens. Beaupre was saying, I think more so than that he was bumped, Mike, that it was kicked in by LaFontaine. Not real definitive in that regard, because it certainly looked like Pat LaFontaine was driving to the net, but of course did nothing to get his skates away from the puck. Look at the move, though, he makes on Scott Stevens. Fights the stick away. One end, Beaupre comes up with the save. Now, see, I think right there.
No, I think he's upset about that contact of charging in. And as you say, incidental contact with the puck. That's not a deliberate kick in. A legal goal scored in that respect, but I think Beaupre a little disturbed about the close quarters after the shot as he was bowled over. LaFontaine's leg getting right between his goaltending pads and twisting him around. In any event, it's a New York score, and that ties the game up at 3-all on LaFontaine's 22nd goal of the season. In the corner now, here's Hunter trying to work it loose. It's cleared to the point. Hatcher can't keep it in, tries to slow down his check, and manages to keep McDonough from chasing the puck. Now it's sent back inside the Washington zone. And in the corner, McDonough jams up on Hatcher. Corvo out to center ice. At the blue line, Diddick to the corner. Now Beaupre lines it up the boards to the point. Scott Stevens off the boards for Bob Joyce, too far. And Corvo recovers now at center ice. 3-3 lockup. 12:14 to play, third period. Henry lets it go on back to the Washington defense, and Johansson and Langway move it out to center ice. Here's Cicerelli from the blue line. A slap shot blocked. And again, the Islanders try to clear. Ridley steals and sends it rink wide for Cicerelli, but that's poked out of there by Nyland. Langway jams up with Randy Wood. Cicerelli digs it free in the corner. And now Dino Cicerelli comes back for Washington. Right side pass. Here's Johansson across the line. Nyland bumped him. Cicerelli behind the net. Ridley chasing. And it's cleared up the right wing board. Back come the Islanders on the attack. Brent Sutter walks around Johansson, fires, and a glove save made by Beaupre. Don Beaupre with a quick glove there and hangs on to stop play with 11:18 to go here in the third. Crowd tonight, 16,133.
Well, what can you expect ahead on the channel you cheer for? Miller Genuine Draft presents What's on Tap. Tells you tomorrow. Georgetown University takes on UDC, the University of District of Columbia, here on Home Team Sports at 2 p.m. Wednesday, the Hoyas back in action against Virginia Tech. That comes your way at 7:30 p.m. And then Friday night, Patrick Ewing and the New York Knicks come in to face the Bullets at 8 p.m. That's What's on Tap, brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft.
Norton and Diddick get the assists on the LaFontaine goal. At 6:25, LaFontaine's 22nd of the season. And with Courtnall still in the box, it's a power play score. "11 minutes to play here in the third period, and this one a long way from being settled." Crossman back to chase it at center ice. To Norton. Over on the right wing to Sutter. A slap shot stopped by Beaupre. And now Hatcher turns it around and starts back. Here's Hatcher to center. Gets across the line. His wrist shot goes off a skate. Now a tie up in the corner. And out comes Brent Sutter. Long shot stopped by Beaupre. Both teams changing lines. And Rob Murray scored his first National Hockey League goal here in the third period. Clears it across the line. Ahead now for Leach. Dave Volek moves it ahead for LaFontaine. Gets across the line to King. A slap shot, stick save made by Beaupre. Scott Stevens has it behind the net. Now over to Pavanka. Back again to Stevens. To Michael Pavanka on the left wing boards. Courtnall keeps it going, and Leach picks it up at center ice. Leach trying to get around Baumgartner. These two have had a battle going tonight. And the puck cleared out to center ice. Sheehy on the right wing side throws it into the left wing corner, and Crossman's back to get it for New York. Here's Pavanka in behind the net. Has it cleared out of the zone and out to center ice. And Stevens back to take it. Into the corner. Baumgartner winds up, clears it ahead for King on the left wing. Across the blue line, right wing side. Johansson throws it behind the goal. Now McDonough across the blue line. Out to Maloney. And he heaves this one high in the air, and it sails over the corner glass and out of play. Now Mick Vukota.
Was that Rod Langway, though, that they were separating him from?
Yeah, bumping with the Washington captain. Kevin Collins comes over from the Washington captain. Separated there from Mick Vukota.
Well, the Islanders certainly have tightened things up in this third period. They've really been wrapping up, again, as they did in the first period, the Capital forwards. Not allowing them to bust in deep on the defenseman. And the rest of the forwards have done a pretty nice job. And of course, you know, that last exchange, Baumgartner out there eliminating Stephen Leach in the corner and along the boards twice. Some of the penalties that were called earlier by Kerry Fraser aren't being whistled down for both sides right now. So you can expect to see a lot more of the clutch and grab. There you see two Islanders trying to hold up Alan May to give Nyland a little room to move that puck out.
Shot by Langway from the point. Blocked. The Islanders come out. Vukota starts a 3-on-2. The lead pass cut off, though, by Calle Johansson. Plays it back to center ice. Hubie McDonough, left wing side to Maloney. Coming on. He fires. Beaupre the save as two other players crash the net. Rob Murray in there with Mick Vukota, and they knock the net loose from its magnetic moorings. Let's check in downstairs now with Jeff Rimmer.
Thanks, Mike. On our Washington Post out-of-town scoreboard, let's get you caught up. Two games now, of course, underway. In fact, both of those are now finals. The Red Wings with a pair of goals from Yzerman, his 19th and 20th of the year. Gallant also with a pair. They beat the Blackhawks by 4. How about those Devils? They come from behind and beat the Los Angeles Kings at the Meadowlands. Final score was 7-5. We'll have goal scores for you on our post-game show. Stay tuned for that. More of this third period ahead, perhaps overtime. Let's rejoin Mike Fornes and Al Coca.
That's a tough break for the Capitals here in the New Jersey Devils. Staying up there in the standings. Caps have some games coming up with them.
A little surprised about the goaltending matchups in that game. I thought you definitely would have seen Rudy against Burke. Sean Burke stopping a 5-game losing streak the other night against the Islanders. Instead, Terreri got the start tonight, and it was Goslin as opposed to Kelly Rudy. I think they'd put Kelly Rudy against his old Patrick Division foes. At LaFontaine squares up against Mike Ridley for the faceoff, won by Ridley.
Dino Ciccarelli starts the rush. 8.5 minutes to play in the third period. Ciccarelli, long slap shot, knocked down by Healy. Puck cleared off the sideboards, and now Hatcher keeps it in. Ciccarelli spins around and jams Norton against the corner boards. Those two pushing and shoving, and Ciccarelli winds up standing over Norton, but the puck frozen beneath them. And play is called.
Quite an improvement this year for Jeff Norton. When he came in from the United States Olympic program in 1988, just like Bob Joyce did for the Bruins from the Canadian Olympic program, he was sensational for the Islanders. Last year, much expected of him, and did not have a good season. He said he just really didn't take into account what he had to do to get prepared for the NHL season from the start. This year, dedicated himself a lot more, had a strong training camp, and the Islanders certainly need his offensive thrust. He's got 1 goal, but 22 assists for Jeff Norton.
At the point, Hatcher a drive wide. The rebound bounces loose at the side of the net. And Healy keeps the door shut. Into the corner goes Scott Stevens. He tries to center, but now a whistle as the net has come loose. And Kevin Collins spotting that. And quickly blowing the whistle to stop play.
Fans don't like it, but it's something that's got to be done. The eagle eyes of Kevin Collins. Certainly those eyes haven't gotten any worse with the 39th birthday coming. And exactly the way I'd want to spend my 39th. having to bark at these guys out there.
How did you spend number 39 anyway?
I'll let you know when it happens, pal.
The puck cleared back inside the Washington zone. Kevin Hatcher back to chase it. Stevens hangs on in the corner. And Volek pokes it off the sideboards, and now Ridley takes over for Washington with help from Scott Stevens. Lead pass for Dino Ciccarelli. Flips it in front. Ridley fires, but it goes wide of the net. Back to the right point. Hatcher keeps it in. Baumgartner clears it up the middle, and Hatcher grabs that at center ice. 7:23 to go here in the third period. The Capitals 3, the Islanders 3. Here's Ciccarelli from the short left wing. Fires, and it's blocked by Healy. Back to the point. Langway keeps it in. His drive goes wide. Volek grabs it on the left wing and flips it back out to center ice. Now Sheehy playing it back to the New York line. Dave Volek takes over. Out to Crossman. Back to Volek. Volek across the line and bounces it wide of the Washington net. And here's Rod Langway to start out. Hits Hunter with a quick pass at the blue line. Up the center. Hunter across the line to Corriveau into the New York zone. Corriveau takes it behind the net. Ivan Corriveau throws it back at the goal, and here's Hunter to take it over. Dale Hunter backhands it in front of shot. Blocked by Healy, and he grabs it by diving out to his left and holds on and smothers the puck to stop play with 6:35 to go here in the third period.
Be sure to tune in every Monday as the experts discuss the hottest issues in sports on the Washington Post Sports Talk Show, 6:30 p.m. here on the channel you cheer for, Home Team Sports. Really only the fifth Capital shot of the period. See Dale Hunter getting pulled down a little bit. Ivan Corriveau is able to get the backhander to the side of the net. Healy knocks it down. Then as the rebound comes out and Bob Joyce bearing down on him, Healy takes no chances. But the Capitals, who exploded for 18 shots in the second period, limited to just 5 as the Islanders have tightened up defensively. We've got 6:35 to go. And for the New York Islanders, they have outshot the Capitals 8-5 in this third period and have the LaFontaine goal as their latest after Rob Murray had given the Capitals the 3-2 lead.
From the draw, the puck goes back to the corner for Nyland. He throws it up the right wing boards. Alan May to center ice. Clears it across the line, back inside the Washington zone. Langway back to get it. Centering pass, Corriveau takes over and leads it ahead to center ice. Now Hunter across the blue line on the left wing. Drop pass, Langway fires, and a save to Healy.
Well, I tell you, we haven't seen this much in terms of offensive thrust from Rod Langway in a while, and did he come steaming up ice? Remember earlier in the game, had a beautiful almost end-to-end rush that resulted in a great centering pass. Here he recognizes if he hustles, he can get the odd man advantage, and he does. Dale Hunter gives him a perfect drop pass. Langway drills it on net, and Healy comes up strong again.
Faceoff will be to the right of Glenn Healy. Came into this contest winning just 5 games this season with 10 losses and 2 ties. Caps have outshot the Islanders 34-23. And Norton push and shove. And from the draw, thrown in behind the net. Courtnall to the corner, gives to Pavanka. Held up on the play by McDonough. Now Courtnall chased behind the net by Norton. A backhander right in front, leads a shot. Great save by Healy. Healy reached up into the corner to grab that one.
He's been terrific tonight, but this is by far his most dramatic and best save of the game. The Capitals with a great scoring opportunity in front. It starts with Courtnall wheeling out. He sets up Pavanka. Now Stephen Leach is going to have an open shot. But watch the way Glenn Healy stays with him, gets up on his feet and is in pretty good balance, and then snaps out with that glove. From our Hardy's cam, you see the way the play develops. Pavanka is free in front as the defenseman is trapped down low, and then Stephen Leach comes in. He was going for that top shelf, and none better than the save you'll see right there by Glenn Healy. That is terrific glove work. Well, the Capitals, in the last few minutes, have really started to get that pressure back, and it's been the hard work and forechecking again that's worked for their advantage. That's where they've had the best success tonight. The Islanders have taken it away most of the period, but it's coming back for Washington.
Here's LaFontaine coming on, and a centering pass misses Wood. Played back to the point. Crossman keeps it in. Pavanka tries to dig it free. Right wing pass for Leach. Too far. Baumgartner back to chase it. And icing is the call as he gets there, but now collides with Courtnall in the corner. Courtnall, the Capitals' plus-minus leader, plus 13 coming into this game.
Ryan Murray trying to keep his top three lines out there as often as possible. Spot shifting his fourth line of Murray, May, and Kiprios. The Ridley, Miller, and Cicerelli unit back out there. And of course, you'll see Pat LaFontaine and Brent Sutter out there quite a bit the rest of the game as you have most of this third period for Al Arbour. Remember, he's also playing without Brian Trottier.
Sutter drops it back to Crossman. We now have 5 minutes left to go here in the third period. Game tied at 3-all. Cicerelli on the right wing. Takes it behind the net. Cicerelli loose in front. Can't get the shot away. Now Stevens has it in the corner. Pushed off the puck. It's cleared, and Lauer takes it on the left wing side. Lauer to center, gets across the blue line, fires a slap shot, deflected up off the glass. Miller can't clear it out. Stevens to the corner. Lauer takes over now for New York. And Kelly Miller sends it off the boards back to the New York Islanders zone. 3-3 score, 4 minutes, 10 seconds to play here in the third period. Here's LaFontaine, left wing side for King. Sends it rink wide, and LaFontaine clears to the point. Nyland back in neutral ice. Left side for LaFontaine. Sheehy back into his own zone. Up the boards, and King is there to get it. Derek King checked by Rod Langway. Sheehy takes over, stolen. McDonough walks in and picks the top corner, throwing it over Don Beaupre into the net. And the Islanders go in front 4-3.
The Islanders without Trottier. They've been double shifting LaFontaine, double shifting Sutter, but it's the other center iceman, the guy we talked about at the top of the show, Hubie McDonough. This is the type of lift that McDonough has supplied the Islanders since this deal. You see the Capitals get caught up a little bit. The puck is trying to be controlled by Sheehy. Stops it with his skates, but before he can pick it up on his stick, in comes McDonough darting in. The Capitals trying to get some lines changed out there, trying to get things settled down, and Hubie McDonough just comes flying in completely unchecked, beats Beaupre with the backhander, and the Islanders have scored the last 2 goals of this game and have regained the lead, this time at 4-3.
Goal number 39, Hubie McDonough. Assist number 10, Alan Kerr.
Number 7 on the season for Hubie McDonough.
27, Derek King.
Alan Kerr and Derek King get the assists at 16-18 of the third period. Here comes Ivan Corbo across the blue line on the right wing side. Throws it in behind the net. Holder back to Bob Joyce. Joyce jams up in the corner. And the puck cleared back to center ice. Here's Holder. Dumps it into the Islander zone. Capitals now looking for the tying goal in this game as New York has taken a 4-3 lead. Calle Johansson. Inside Islander territory. Maloney bumps it out to center ice, but Steve Leach takes it there. Here's Leach coming on. A shot. Pad save made by Healy. Big save there. Coming out and cutting that angle down on Stephen Leach. Islanders cleared all the way down the ice, and as Scott Stevens goes back to get it, icing is the call with 2:10 to play here in the third period of this game. Back with the final moments of tonight's contest after this.
$1,234,566.
We're now approaching the final countdown for the Maryland Lottery's giant cash jackpot.
$1,234,567 and 89 cents. Boy, I love my work.
The Maryland Lottery's giant cash countdown. Win it, and your life will never be the same again.
We're down to 2:10 to play in this hockey game. The Capitals will have the face-off in the Islander zone. Rob Murray, who got his first NHL goal earlier tonight, will take this draw. Courtnall and Pavanka out there as well. Brent Sutter, the best face-off man for the Islanders, works it, but Murray wins it.
Back to Scott Stevens. His slap shot deflected wide. Now Calle Johansson in the corner. Over to Jeff Courtnall. Courtnall works it free. The puck centered right in front, but Bollock knocks it away. Now Courtnall firing, but it's wide of the net. Caps trying to keep the pressure on. Slap shot by Stevens goes wide. Back to the point. Johansson tries to keep it in, can't do it. Comes out of the zone. Against the sideboards now and finally frozen for a faceoff.
We're getting to the time where Brian Murray's got to make a decision about Don Beaupre. 1:41 left. Still a little too early, but we hit the minute-and-a-half mark if the Capitals have control. See if that's about the time Murray will make his move. He also still has his timeout left, and I think the optimum thing for Brian Murray would be able to get a face-off in the Islander zone, call his players over with the timeout, get Beaupre out then.
Here's Nyland working it over to Diddick. Comes it back inside the Washington zone, and Kevin Hatcher plays it up the boards. Now to Kelly Miller. Right wing side for Dino Ciccarelli. To Kevin Hatcher. Fires a shot. It seemed to startle Healy, but he made the save and now clears it up the boards. Randy Wood keeps it going and takes some pressure off inside the Islander zone by clearing it all the way back into Washington's end of the ring. But now, as the icing is called, the faceoff will return to New York territory, and let's see if Brian Murray makes the decision to pull Don Beaupre now, or will he wait until they have control inside the New York end?
I think he'd want to get his timeout now. This is the type of situation he likes. You've got a face-off. You can work a face-off play, and you can get your troops to discuss things. The Islanders arguing where this face-off should be.
He's going to pull him right now.
I'm a little surprised. Maybe Brian will wait for a moment to take his time out. He's going to wait. Now Scott Stevens, I think, is going to go tell Kerry Fraser they want a timeout. I'm surprised. This is usually the spot where Brian likes to take the timeout to work a face-off play and set things up. But there are 6 attackers as Beaupre has been pulled. Sutter against Hunter on the draw.
Still time left, a minute 12. Murray will have another opportunity, perhaps, if he needs to use the timeout. Here he gets a fresh line on the ice, and Stevens is bumped in the corner. The Islanders come out as Sutter brings to center ice, and now it's shot toward the net. It bounces into the goal. On a deflection, a bad break for the Capitals there as the Islanders scoring on a play which they really shouldn't have. The puck fired from outside the blue line and went off a stick, so it was deflected, but not enough. And it rolls onward down into the goal. And New York goes ahead 5-3 on an empty net goal with Beaupre out of there for only 14 seconds.
You see the little flip. Maloney waits till he gets to that red line. Kevin Hatcher thought he had it stopped. It hits Hatcher's stick, bounces out, and slides just inside that post. Don Maloney, who got the second goal of the game, gets the 5th goal for the Islanders, took this game away at 5-3 with 56 seconds left.
19:02 at the time of the goal. Sutter gets the lone assist on Maloney's 14th of the season and 2nd of this contest. Now Beaupre starts another rush to the bench, and as the Capitals touch it inside the zone, the whistle blows, and I think they may have gotten the Capitals there for getting a player out on the ice before Beaupre was already to the bench. There was some comment made by Jeff Courtnall to Swede Knox, who made the call, and Knox has tagged him with an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, or maybe even a 10-minute misconduct. As you know, the new rules now say that the player has to be within 5 feet of the bench before the new player can come on the ice. So when a new player, oh, here comes the call.
Goaltenders, so the face-off will be at center ice. And the penalty called on number 14, Jeff Courtnall, 2 minutes unsportsmanlike conduct at 19-19.
That's exactly what happened. Courtnall gets tagged with an unsportsmanlike conduct call, and the reason that he was upset, he was protesting Swede Knox's whistling of the play down for a face-off at center ice because the Capitals had pulled the goaltender prematurely. They brought him to the bench. The 6th attacker jumped out before Beaupre was within 5 feet. Used to be 10 feet. And, you know, teams used to do it, Al, on line changes, where they'd bring a guy into the first bench door. A guy would take off out of the second bench door. If they cheat a little bit on the 10 feet, now all of a sudden you're up to 15 feet. Add that to the length of the bench, you've got yourself a good 45 to 50 feet.
Well, as if the linesmen don't have enough to do, that is something they've been requested to really crack down on. That's a scenario that you mentioned that it was very common, but just almost like in baseball, that phantom play at second base. So many times you see the shortstop or second baseman don't really touch the bag on double plays. Umpires almost never call it. Linesmen rarely would call those line changes as long as the guy was in the vicinity and never really played the puck. But the linesmen cracking down on it a lot more now.
So the Caps short-handed now, and will leave Beaupre in the net. The final seconds of this game are played out. Lauer brings it to center ice. Sutter fires all the way down into the Washington zone with 11 seconds left.
And you know, Mike, once again, here at the Capitol Center against the New York Islanders, it's not really the stars that do the big damage. Certainly, Trottier got the big goal last time in the game that the Capitals played the Islanders here. And now, of course, you got a big goal tonight from Pat LaFontaine to tie it at 3-3. But remember, it was the Vakota 3-goal hat trick that got things started. Here you got 2 goals from Maloney, a backbreaker from Hubie McDonough. Guys you don't think of. Guys who are playing the 4th line for the New York Islanders, and they have been the key the last 2 times the Islanders have been in this building.
Very good point. I don't know who your best player on the ice is tonight. Mine was Jeff Norton, a defensive player, comes up with 2 assists, backstopping the Islanders all the way, and it's those unsung heroes that come through again tonight for New York. Shots on goal in the 3rd period. The Islanders had 10, a game total of 25, and Washington with 9, a game total of 37. In the 3rd period, the only Washington goal scored by Rob Murray, his first in the National Hockey League. LaFontaine on the power play, McDonough with the game winner. And then Don Maloney scoring on an empty net goal to make it 5-3. The Islanders winning over the Washington Capitals. We'll be back with more after this.